Good morning. Hello. Hey, Jennifer. Hello, hello. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Landslide, for the heart me. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello. Good morning. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Baby D. Hey, Loopy. Hey, Wicked Flower. Hey, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Really, Debs? So on the lunch break, I will go back and go through what I missed for the testimony. Good morning, Kendra. But I had a late night last night, guys. I had a family emergency I was dealing with. So, hello. Why is my... Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Was it, Lakota? It was crazy? Yeah, I'll go back through it. Yeah, everything's good, Loopy. I'm good. Thank you. Hey, Garnet. Oh, Chrissy, that's Moo. Yeah, Moo is... Really? So much information already? I didn't miss anything, sidebar. Good morning, Angel. Mom knows best. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Hey. So have you guys been watching? What did I miss? Hey, Adria.
I'm sorry.
No.
Just waited so we can be surprised together.
All right. That sounds like a plan. So yeah, during the lunch break, I'll go back through what I missed. Come on, Moo. Moo's a punk. Only when the camera's on is he like this, all over me. The cop testified about finding the kids. Oh, that had to be gut-wrenching. That had to be gut-wrenching. Prosecutor questioned 2 police officers. Moo the king. Let me see. They still on sidebar? They're still on sidebar. So 2 cops this morning testified. You'll be listening. I see you, she said. It was so disturbing what he was describing. Ugh. You only saw 1 testify? That was enough? Yeah. Yeah. Man. When are they supposed to come back? Are they on a break or is this just a sidebar? Defense made an objection. Oh, wow. Wow. The first one was just about holding it together. Yeah. Are they on a break? Till what time? Do you know? Oh, never mind. All right, let's go. Hold on. Guys, do me a favor if you're just getting in here before I show the screen. Can you guys share it out? Repost it, do your thing, tap, tap, tap. And if you're able to, thank you, Miss Love, for the follow. I appreciate it. If you guys can give a heart me before I go down with my violation. I've been getting 5 or 6 every day. So I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Watch your step, please.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir. Good morning.
If I may.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
PJ Hussey, Hussey,
And your date of birth?
5/5/1963.
Where do you work?
Duxbury Fire Department,
And how long have you been a firefighter?
32 years.
Are you also a paramedic?
Yes.
What's the difference between an EMT and a paramedic?
Paramedic has advanced life-saving skills, intubation, and medicine. We can.
Did I just freeze, guys?
And is there a certain type of training that you have to have as a paramedic?
Yes, every 2 years.
And to first qualify as a paramedic, what do you have to do?
I think my
There's,
screen just froze.
a paramedic class that you take upwards of 2 years.
So you take that paramedic class. Is there a test you have to take at the end
A
of
state test, yep.
And once you pass that state test and become a paramedic, you have to do continuing
Better?
education. Is that correct?
All right, better.
And did you take that initial training, pass that initial test, and then pass all subsequent training to be a paramedic?
Yes,
And how long have you been a paramedic?
about 17 years.
What is your current role with the Duxbury Fire Department?
I'm a captain, which is considered a shift commander.
Wyzant helps millions
I
of
forgot
learners
to pay
succeed
for
with the
premium,
nation's
guys.
largest
Remind me
network of
today.
tutors. Your child
Shift commander do?
Oversees the operations of the town as far as firefighting and medical services.
How many fire departments or stations rather?
Good morning,
how many
Angela.
stations does Duxbury Fire Department have?
Duxbury has 2,
And how far apart are they?
about 10 minutes apart.
And are they staffed differently from
Yes.
each other?
Yeah.
And how are they staffed?
You don't have
Some
volume,
stations,
guys?
the captain and usually 3. And
Can
the
you
other
guys hear
station
it, Sam?
Just 2 firefighters.
And for Duxbury, are all the firefighters that work for Duxbury Fire Department also paramedics?
Not all.
can
We
hear
have,
it, Jamie?
Two
And see it?
EMTs. Yeah.
Now,
The rest are medics.
I'm sorry?
The rest are medics.
And when you say medics, you're talking about paramedics?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So directing your attention to January 24th, 2023, were you working that day?
Yes.
And what shift were you working?
My own shift. My group, shift 1.
And what is shift 1?
It's just we have four shifts, and I'm just group 1, shift 1.
Is there a certain time that spans? Time of day?
No, 24-hour shifts.
Thank
8
you,
8
Angela.
o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock the next morning.
Okay, so you were working 8 o'clock in the morning on January 24th,
Yes.
and your shift would end 8 o'clock in the morning on January 25th?
Correct.
And were you working in that capacity as a shift commander on the 24th?
Yes.
Now, do you recall a call coming in shortly after 6 p.m. Dispatching you to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
Yes.
And did you respond to that scene?
We did.
And how many vehicles and personnel responded?
My car, the shift commander car, ambulance 1, and engine number 2.
And what was the personnel in each of those vehicles? Not names necessarily, but how many people?
We put usually it's 2 in the ambulance, but because of the
I don't know. It kept freezing on me.
severity of the call when it first came in.
I think I was getting reported before I even got started.
In the ambulance, and then 2 firefighter medics in the engine from the other station.
Okay, so that would be 6 people in total?
6 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have anyone from the second station respond initially?
They all came. We all came at the same time. We all got dispatched at the same time.
So would that have been 6 people total from both stations or 6 people from the central station?
6 people total from both.
And when you arrived on scene, what did you see upon arrival?
There's a couple of police cruisers that were there already. Just beat us in.
Thank you, guys.
And then we had to go up back to where the patient was located.
And when you refer to the patient that was out back, was that Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And did you head to the backyard?
Yes,
And did you see her on the ground?
I did.
And were you personally treating her, or was it the other paramedics that
The
were
other
doing it?
paramedics were treating her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing?
Just supervising the call, just make sure things are handled appropriately as a shift commander.
Showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 37. Do you see the area where you were in the backyard that night on the screen?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind standing up and just pointing where you were.
The patient was crossing the right here. I was over here in this area here.
And if the record reflect, you pointed to the patient being to the right of the metal window well, and you were standing to the left of the window well, is that correct?
Yeah, she was right below this window, so someplace she was right in this area,
Okay.
and I was just a little bit further over.
And when you said right below this window, you're pointing to the far right second story window?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
At some point in time while you were standing there, did you hear a loud noise?
I heard a scream.
Okay. And when you heard the scream, could you tell where it was coming from?
It sounded like it was coming from the basement.
And did you look anywhere in particular?
Yeah, I was able to look through the basement window and able to see a male person downstairs.
And when you say the basement window, are you referring to that first
Yes.
metal?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that was in Exhibit 37. Just showing you again on the screen here.
Yeah.
What's been marked as Exhibit 50. This window here
Hey,
on the
Susan.
right, does that barely represent the window that you looked through and could see down into that
Yes.
basement office?
Yeah.
And was the light on in the basement office when you
A
looked in?
light was on, yes.
And what did you see when you looked in the window?
After I heard the scream, I saw a older male gentleman, now knowing it was Patrick Clancy, unwrapping something from a child's head.
And when you saw the male unwrapping something, can you demonstrate the motion that they were doing?
Yeah, the child was on the ground. The head was towards the window,
Hey,
so the head
Nicholas.
was towards the back of the house, and he
Hey, one and only.
picked the child up, and he was in a circular motion, taking something off the head, around the neck.
And could you see the child's face?
Yes,
And what observations did you make of the child's face?
the head was blue.
And did you later learn that child was Dawson Clancy?
Yes.
At that point, what did you do?
Because of the severity of Miss Clancy on the ground, and now we have another patient. I put a all call in, which is a recall of Duxbury personnel, all Duxbury personnel, if they're available, to come back to the town to help out for when I need help on the scene. And they also need help in the town to cover the town while I'm busy at this scene. And I also requested a mutual aid ambulance to respond to the scene.
Because at that time, there was only one ambulance that was responsible.
One ambulance for Miss Clancy, yes. And then I called another, seeing the next patient, I called another ambulance in.
Okay, and what is mutual aid?
Amanda, thank you for the follow.
It's a shared system that all the towns use, that if we get busy or busy with calls, we're able to call help in from surrounding towns to give us a hand, whether it be fire related or medical related.
Does Duxbury only have one ambulance?
We have 3.
But you only had one staff that night?
Yes.
Okay, so you call in for an additional ambulance. At some point in time, do you learn that there are 2 other patients,
Yes.
Cora Clancy and Callan Clancy?
Yes.
At that point in time, do you have to do anything to call in more assistance?
Well, the recall for Duxbury personnel was already put in, so I called 2 more ambulances at that point.
And the scene that night,
Daddy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
another victim, was that a chaotic scene?
It turned very chaotic very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it a situation where people would start treating a patient, but then have to move on to something else and someone would take over?
Sort of. I had 4, so I had myself as a shift commander. I had an EMT with me, but there's also 4 paramedics. So the way it ended up working, all the initial paramedics were with Miss Clancy in the beginning. And then when we found the other patients, we left a paramedic with Miss Clancy, a paramedic with Dawson, and then 2 paramedics were with the 2 other kids in the other room.
And did someone eventually also have to be with Patrick Clancy?
Eventually, yes. Yeah, but at the time, there was nobody with him in the beginning.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
I don't understand this line of questioning. It's not like we know she did it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So what was the point of that?
Attorney Buckingham.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would call Loring Nudd as its next witness, please.
Is this another first responder? Because her actual guilt isn't on trial. Yes, happy wife.
Daily games deliver twice the fun and excitement. With
Stop right there, raise your right hand to the clerk, please.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you may have an interest in the court and that you're in the coming between the Commonwealth and the United States and the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You may have a seat.
Watch your step there.
That lady's got a nice job.
All right, good morning,
Raise
sir.
your right hand.
Good morning.
May I inquire?
Yes, please, counsel.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please tell the jurors your first and last name?
My first name is Loring, Loring.
All right.
My last name is
Follow.
Nudd, Nudd.
And do you have a nickname that you go by?
I do.
What's that?
Everybody knows me as Chuck.
Chuck. Do you work, sir?
I do.
What do you do for work?
So I'm a firefighter EMT with the Duxbury Fire Department.
What is the point of this?
at that
I'm
time.
not
I am now
understanding the
retired.
point of this.
Okay, so when did you retire?
So I retired a year ago.
A year ago?
Isn't it?
Yeah, like
And so how
her
long
guilt
had you
isn't in
been
question. We know
working
she
with
did
Duxbury
it.
Fire before your retirement?
We get it was traumatic. One or
30.
two would have been sufficient. I
And
don't.
Can you explain what your role was as a Duxbury firefighter?
Do you work?
So
Yeah.
if I was an EMT, which 80% of our calls are probably that related. So
Well, he is
I
188.
would
That's
assist
what
the
I'm saying.
paramedic,
It's
or
wild.
I would drive the ambulance or whatever was necessary at the time. And then we were also did fire suppression, and we were all trained in that and went to the academy and all that.
Okay, and can you tell us what the difference is between an EMT and a paramedic?
We already
So
know the
paramedic
difference.
requires another
You covered this
year or two
already.
of training,
Paramedic
and
is
they're
trained in
able to,
advance.
prescribe
EMTs are
meds.
not. They're in
Yeah, I mean,
basic
prescribe
life support.
meds,
What's
excuse
the
me.
problem here?
Give meds that they have according to what they need to do. They can also read the monitor that shows rhythms in the heart and what have you.
Is it fair to say that as an EMT, you're trained in basic life-saving techniques,
Correct.
while a paramedic is advanced life-saving techniques?
Correct.
And so at Duxbury Fire Department, is it also fair to say that each and every firefighter has that dual role of either being an EMT, a paramedic, and a firefighter?
Yes, some are. There might be one EMT, just a basic, where most of them are the medics but we're all firefighters too.
Okay. And in the town of Duxbury, does the town itself have its own ambulances
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
in addition to the fire engines?
Yes.
And there's
Club
also
mutual
ladder
aid. We
trucks.
got it, lady.
Now, when you were working as a Duxbury firefighter, what was the schedule? How did you work your shifts?
So we work 24-hour shifts.
And then how many days on and how many days off?
So we'd have 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, and 5 off.
And a 24-hour shift, when did it start and end?
It was 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock the next morning.
So if I direct your attention to January 24th of 2023, you were still working for the Duxbury Fire Department then, correct?
Correct.
And were you on a 24-hour shift that day?
I was.
At some point during the day, were you given kind of what your assignment was for that shift?
Yes.
What was your assignment?
So that day, we all kind of float around a little bit, but we had a newer member that had made progress. He was an EMT and then made it to paramedic. So I was kind of what they call the backup guy. So I would do whatever fill-in needed to be done, and I would assist with them if necessary.
Okay, and so were you kind of assigned to the ambulance at the central station as that backup person?
I was.
And the person that you identified was kind of the newer employee. What was his name?
Paramedic Doherty.
And that would be Daniel Doherty.
Daniel Doherty, yeah.
And who was the other Duxbury firefighter that was assigned to the ambulance that
It
shift?
would have been paramedic Kevin Heath.
So at approximately 6 o'clock or just after 6 p.m., were you advised of a dispatch to a residence in the town of Duxbury?
Yes.
And where was that dispatch going to take you?
So it's going to take us to Summer Street.
And so you and firefighter Heath and firefighter Doherty, you all get in the
Yeah,
ambulance.
thank you for the follow.
Correct.
And do you go to 47 Summer Street?
We do.
Who was in the ambulance? Who was assigned as kind of the driver and the tech?
So at that time, because we had heard
what kind of call it. We had an idea what call we were
Karen,
going
thank you
to.
for the follow.
The two medics out
Jennifer,
front,
thank you for the
and
follow.
were able to converse while I sat in the back, and again was that backup guy, more or less.
Okay. And as far as the nature of the call that you believed you were coming into, is it fair to say that the initial call had to deal with a female that had gone out the window, possibly a suicide?
Yeah, as I remember, it was a second floor fall.
At the time that you were dispatched to that location, did you know that there was any pediatric patients or children involved?
No.
Now, approximately how long did it take to get from the central station to 47 Summer Street, if you recall?
I'm going to say 4 to 5 minutes.
And when you arrived on scene, were there already other emergency personnel on scene?
There were.
Were you the first ambulance on scene?
We were.
How about fire trucks? Were there any other fire trucks from Duxbury?
The fire truck, you could hear it in the background, but it wasn't there yet.
So is it fair to say that there were some Duxbury police cruisers that had arrived just ahead of you?
Correct.
Where did you go with the ambulance when you got to that address of 47 Summer Street?
So as we were pulling up, I could hear the two guys up front say, the cruisers are in the way of the driveway. So I said, okay, you guys take the call, meaning get out of the car and get out of the truck and get started, and I'll take care of the truck.
Okay, and so when you come to the address, are you able to at least pull into the driveway at some point?
Not at that point. Because I was in the back, I switched to the driver's seat. And at that time, I saw an officer coming and he was getting ready to move the vehicle that was in our way so that I could back in.
And so were you able to then back the ambulance into the driveway?
I was.
And were there other vehicles that were not emergency personnel vehicles in the driveway?
There might have been some of their vehicles, but there might have been, but I don't really. I had enough room to put my vehicle there, and that's all that mattered.
Okay, so when you backed the ambulance
Thank
in,
you, Tracy.
firefighter Heath and firefighter Doherty, what did they do?
They had already jumped out.
appreciate it.
They had already jumped out, grabbed the gear, and taken off for the back of the house.
Once you got the ambulance secured in the driveway, what did you do?
So, assuming that they were going to need a stretcher, I started pulling a stretcher out of the back of the ambulance.
And again, you said you backed the ambulance in?
Correct.
As you were pulling the stretcher out of the back of the ambulance, did you observe somebody coming from the house?
Yes.
What did you see?
One of the police officers was carrying a child.
And so what did you do when you saw him carrying the child out of the house?
So at that point, the stretcher was almost out of the vehicle, and I said, over here, and he placed him on the stretcher.
Were you able to make observations of the child as he's being placed on the stretcher?
I was.
What did he look like?
So his face was blue. He had marks around his neck, and his body was pale.
And so once the officer, or first off, was the officer somebody you knew from Duxbury?
Correct. It was Officer Homestead.
Okay. And once the child was placed on the stretcher, what did you do after you made that initial observations of him?
So we rolled it right inside so he could start doing CPR.
Now, as an EMT, what is the first thing you generally do when you're observing a patient or assessing a patient?
So you always look for response and you go for airway.
Okay. And fair to say there's kind of what they call the ABCs.
Correct.
Can you tell the jurors what that means?
So it's airway, breathing, circulation.
Okay. And in this circumstance, were you able to observe the
Actually,
child
I think
breathing
they
on
did
his
away
own?
with that.
No.
How?
I had my husband take a photo for me and show me my results, and literally I was.
We were still doing the preliminary.
And how about circulation or pulse or cardiac activity? Were you able to determine any of that upon your initial assessment of him?
At that point, no.
Now, after you are in the back of the ambulance, do other EMTs or other paramedics come and assist you with this child?
Yes. So when the patient was getting rolled in, I also yelled out to my captain, hoping that he was going to hear me, that I needed a medic in my truck because I needed him to know that there was someone in my truck. Okay. And I'm assuming someone heard me, and they then directed a medic to my truck once one appeared.
Okay. And so the medic that came to the truck, was that Keith Nettie?
Yes.
And that was not the original person who went to the scene with you in the ambulance, was it?
Correct.
Okay. And what happened when you had the child in the back of the ambulance? What did you guys do to try to tend to him?
So we were doing CPR, and then there was he wanted to check the monitor, so we got the monitor out.
Okay. And with the monitor, what was the monitor supposed to be looking for?
Heart rhythm.
Okay. And so do you have to kind of hook that up to the patient in order to assess whether there's any activity?
Correct.
And those monitors that you have in your equipment, do they do anything more than just check for heart rate?
The paramedic can then look and see what kind of, not just a heart rate, but a rhythm. And then
if there is not a rhythm, does that machine help you to do anything to try to restart somebody's heart?
with a rhythm, with the rhythm that they gave us, they said, we can disconnect it, because they were concerned they needed the monitor downstairs too, or elsewhere.
And is it fair to say that at that point you're assisting the paramedic with their assessment and running that equipment and checking the monitor?
No, I'll allow it, but let's kind of move on.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Re-ask that.
Are you assisting the paramedic at that point to treat the child in the ambulance? At some point, do you leave the ambulance?
I do.
And where do you go after you leave the ambulance?
I bring the monitor down to the basement.
Are the other paramedics and the other responders still working on the child?
Correct.
And
This is Court TV having this.
Basement.
Because my cap, they said they needed equipment in the basement.
I don't know why they're breaking up.
When
There were.
Were you to make observations of those children?
Stacey Lynn, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
I mean, they weren't crying.
Okay. And fair to say they were being treated by others.
Correct.
And so once you dropped off that equipment,
Good
did
day,
you go
Grace.
back out?
Willie Maloney, thank you for the follow. I
And what
appreciate it.
ultimately was your role at the end of this call? What were you asked to do?
I was asked to drive.
So the ambulance that responded from Duxbury, that's ambulance number one, or ambulance one. Did you drive that ambulance to a hospital?
Correct.
Which hospital was that?
I forget if it was the Jordan or the BI now, but it's the Plymouth Hospital.
Here in Plymouth?
Correct.
And that was with Dawson, Clancy in the back.
Shannon, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
No further questions. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Attorney Rington?
Morris 53, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Marakita, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. This line of questioning made no sense. I don't know where they're trying to go with this. Christina, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Attorney Buckingham?
Thank you. The Commonwealth will call Keith Petty as its next witness, please.
Same objection.
No, Angela, I got it. I will get the premium. I just forgot to do it before I came live. I was running late this morning.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony in the evidence you shall give to the court and the
Just don't let this be another first responder. We got what happened, where we are totally understand how this went down.
Sir, you may have a seat.
Watch your step, please. Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, counsel.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna have.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you
Oh,
please
come
tell
on.
us your first and
Gabby,
last
thank
name,
you for the
please?
follow. I
First name
appreciate
is
it.
Keith. Last name is Nettie, N-E-T-T-E.
This is the paramedic.
And where do you work, sir?
He might
I work
explain
for
the
Duxbury
rhythms.
Fire
They were in
How
cardiac
long
arrest.
have you been with the Duxbury Fire Department?
About 17 years.
And
Thank you, Angela.
currently working for the Duxbury Fire Department, what is your role? What do you do there?
Right now, I'm a captain, shift commander.
Okay. And are you a firefighter as well as a trained paramedic?
Yes.
At Duxbury Fire, you all work 24-hour shifts?
Correct.
If I draw your attention to January 24th, 2023, do you recall working a 24-hour shift that day?
I was at home.
Okay. And so what was the shift that you were working that week, if you remember?
I believe I worked maybe 2 days prior. I don't
Sorry,
really remember.
Holly.
Okay. So you were on a day off?
Yes, correct.
And how was it that you ended up being involved in the call at 47 Summer Street on January 24th?
We were recalled from via a pager and text message that there was an incident going on and that we were to respond.
So can you explain to us how that works?
So a tone goes off through dispatch that sends off a pager at our houses that alerts us. Then we also get text messages about the incident and then respond either to the station or to the scene, whichever they request.
As a Duxbury firefighter, are part of your responsibilities to respond to these recalls?
Yes.
Is it a voluntary thing?
Yes.
So if you were indisposed or unavailable when a call went out, a tone went out, would you be expected to respond to the scene?
No.
But in this case, on January 24th, just after 6 p.m., you heard that call go out, correct?
Correct.
And so then what did you do when you heard the call?
I drove to the scene in my personal truck.
When you got to the scene, what did you see?
I saw police and fire vehicles. And then I walked up the driveway and walked into the back of the ambulance.
Now, when you arrived and saw police, so that was Duxbury Police?
Correct.
And the fire personnel that was on scene, who was on scene, if you remember?
I only saw 2 people on
Yes,
scene
thank
initially.
you.
That
Follow, I
was Kevin
appreciate
Heath
it.
and Sergeant Homestead.
Okay. And Sergeant Homestead is a Duxbury officer?
Correct.
Now, was there a Duxbury ambulance in the driveway when you pulled up?
Yes.
And before even getting past that ambulance, were you asked to assist?
Yes.
What did you see when you came to the back of that ambulance?
I saw an officer, Sergeant Homestead, and Kevin Heath doing CPR on a child.
Had you seen how the child ended up in the ambulance, or did you come after?
I came after.
Did you then help take over with treating that child in the back of the ambulance?
Yes.
What was your initial observation of the patient? What did he look like?
Blue, white.
This is the
not
prosecution
responsive, not
asking.
breathing, no pulse.
And this particular patient, did you come to learn him to be the child named Dawson Clancy?
Yes.
And he was approximately 3 years old?
Yes.
What kind of treatment did you and the paramedic Heath offer to Dawson in the back of the ambulance? What did you do?
We tried to start an IV, but then we also started an IO, which is kind of like an IV. Tried intubation, which is an advanced airway, medications, and continued CPR.
So an IV.
They can't do this with everybody that's there. Like, there were life-saving measures for the children. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. We know she did it. We know that they were. We know that they worked. I don't understand.
So what do you do to try
point of
to
this, though.
enter an IO?
Usually we have a drill, but we had a
Okay.
manual one instead.
The
So
IO,
what do you do with
IB
the
has
manual
nothing to
drill
do with
enter
any
the
of it.
IO?
You just twist and then it goes into the bone.
And what bone do you attempt to do this in? And were you able to enter
It's
that
freezing
IO
on
into
court
Dawson?
TV, guys.
Yes.
It's not me.
What is the purpose of the IO versus the IV?
If the patient has difficult access, which pediatrics do.
And in this circumstance, what kinds of medication?
But they
are
don't
you
have
trying
to prove
deliver
that
through the
because
IO to
he's
Dawson?
not on trial for
epinephrine.
guilt.
What's the purpose of epinephrine?
Basically kind of helps to restart the heart.
And at this point, he had no heart activity.
Correct.
Marcy,
You
thanks
also
for the follow. I
mentioned attempts to
appreciate it.
intubate. Can you tell us what that means?
So intubation is an advanced airway where you put a tube into the airway to secure it to deliver high flow oxygen.
Were you able to intubate Dawson?
Yes, Kevin Heath did.
And what do you do when you enter
Yeah,
the
thank you for
tool
the follow. I
to
appreciate it.
intubate?
You go into the mouth and you do a motion of pulling up to see the vocal cords so you can pass the tube through.
And what do you attach to the tube to try to increase breath?
Oxygen and BVM, which is basically you're squeezing a bag.
So BVM would stand for bag valve
Valve
mask?
mask.
Correct.
While you were treating
This is
Dawson
Sandra.
and doing the airway, intubating him, giving him the medicines, were you able to observe anything about the
Thank you,
area of his
guys.
neck?
Yes.
What did you observe about his neck?
Dark red marks around his neck.
But we know he was strangled. No one's denying that. And we know she
Now,
did it. She's not
all of
denying
this
it.
is happening while you are in the back of the ambulance with
This is a waste of
firefighter
taxpayers'
Keith,
money. I'm
correct?
sorry.
And do you recall
Unnecessary.
another Duxbury officer being present, Dan Doherty?
Yes.
Eventually, was that ambulance then
Thank you,
sent
guys.
to
Thank you,
the
thank you,
local
thank you,
hospital?
thank you, Chelsea.
Which
Thank you.
hospital did you guys go to?
BI Plymouth.
On the ride to the hospital, did you ever get a pulse for Dawson?
Susanna, thank you for the follow.
Were you ever able to resume breathing using that method? With the
Yeah, it's pointless. They were in
valve
cardiac
mask?
arrest and they had resuscitative efforts. That's all you need to
The
know.
efforts to give him the medication, the
This
epinephrine,
makes
did it
no
ever do
sense.
anything to start his heart?
No.
When you arrived
Eventually,
at
it
the
doesn't
Beth
make
Israel
an impact.
Hospital,
Eventually, it becomes
emergency
redundant,
department, tell us
and
how you
the jury's going
transferred
to stop
the care
listening.
of the patient.
We wheeled the stretcher in. We went into the first room, which is trauma 1 and trauma 2.
Yeah,
We
Lakota.
moved the patient over to their bed and then transferred care.
While you were at the emergency department at Beth Israel, did you see another child from that same home come in?
I did.
And what department brought them in? What fire department?
Marshfield.
Did you do anything to assist Marshfield when they came through the emergency department?
I assisted in compressions when they were getting the child out of the ambulance.
And is that something that is ongoing during when you're trying to transfer care to the emergency staff?
Yes.
And that's, guys, that's court TV skipping. That's not me.
The father of the children at the emergency department that evening when you were there?
I did.
And you came to pediatric Clancy?
What is happening with them today? This is wild. See, on the TV, it's not. It is on YouTube, though. I think it's their, whoever's, yeah, their camera skipping.
Same objection.
Oh, what am I on? No, I'm on court TV.
That's what I'm saying. Happy wife, when on prosecution or the judge pulled prosecution to ask. What offense isn't stop them, so I think it's just defense knows this one way or the other. It's not so much how it was done, it was she in psychosis or not. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like,
All right, good morning, sir.
Morning.
it's crazy.
Yeah, court TV, their camera's messing up big time today.
Good morning.
Morning.
Could you please tell the jury your first and last name?
Patrick Dwyer,
Can you
Oh,
please
God.
spell your last name for the record?
DWYER.
And how are you employed, sir?
I'm a firefighter paramedic at the Duxbury Fire Department.
And in what capacity are you a firefighter or paramedic? Do you have?
Do you know how many people were on scene that day? This is
No,
going
not
to
a
take all day.
supervisor at the department.
Now, in your role as a firefighter and a paramedic, did you receive training for those roles?
Yes.
No. You
And
have a crack jack box.
how long have you worked for the Duxbury Fire Department?
It's in my 8th year right now.
I'm going to draw your attention to January 24th of 2023. Do you recall working that day?
Yes.
Were you on a 24-hour shift?
Yes.
And so that would be an 8 a.m. to 8 a.m., correct?
Correct.
At approximately 6 o'clock or just after 6 p.m., were you dispatched to 47 Summer Street?
Yes.
What was your assignment that day on shift?
I was working on the engine out of our Station 2
Where is Station 2 located in the town of Duxbury?
on Franklin Street.
The prosecution's point
When
to
the dispatch
say
came
that she
into
wasn't in a
47 Summer
psychotic
Street, do you know
episode. This is
approximately
irrelevant.
how long it took you to get from Station 2 to the location?
A few minutes.
Hey, Dewey,
Who was
thank
working
you.
with you at Station 2 that day?
Jennifer Stratton.
What were each of your designated roles?
I
Thank
believe
you,
Jen
Dewey.
was driving the engine, and I was in the officer's seat.
Now, at Station 2 in Duxbury, is it normal for just two of you to be on shift at that station at any given time?
Yes, correct.
And fair to say there are other firefighters and paramedics that are on staff at the central station, correct?
Correct.
And in this dispatch, you at Station 2 on the engine were dispatched to 247 Summer Street, correct?
That's correct.
When you received the dispatch, did you have any information that there had been children involved?
No, we did not.
When you got to the scene, what did you see?
When we got there, it was dark out. We started walking towards the house, and the other firefighters were there before us. Then we were directed to go to the basement.
Before going to the basement, were you directed towards the outside of the house?
Ready to go to Long
And
Con.
then redirected to the basement?
We were walking towards the backyard, so I believe that's where the first.
Yeah, I
person
think
was,
I will.
located.
Well, we've
So
already
we're
heard
kinda
this
making our
from
way
other
back there.
people, so I'm really
So I'm
not.
just going to show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 34. Can you see it on the screen next to you?
Yes.
And so would this be 47 Summer Street?
Yes.
The jury checked out. Yeah, the jury checked out 20 minutes
On
ago.
the left side.
This is,
when you were redirected.
Yes.
this serves no
Did you ever make
purpose.
it
It's
into the
irrelevant.
backyard?
We went through the backyard to go into the residence.
But you were directed to the basement.
That is so funny. Jen
Yes.
said, can we keep his handsome self up?
If you can
Hey,
take a
Lady
look
V.
at the screen again, I'm going to show.
We have got to the
All right,
point
good,
where
because
literally
I needed that
anybody
break,
can build
not
a
gonna
fully
lie.
working app without
Like,
knowing how to
for-
code. This is
this whole
base 44.
thing- This whole
Sliding glass doors.
Yes.
Is that where you entered the house?
Yes.
thing makes me not want to
You
pay
indicated
for
that you also went to the basement.
many witnesses. Yes,
correct?
child.
Correct.
When you got into the house and went down into the basement, which side did you go to at the bottom of the stairs, the right or the left?
We went down to the left.
6 to 9 week trial, 7 weeks of this nonsense.
What did you observe when you went down into the basement?
We saw 2 children on the ground and the father sitting on the couch next to them.
So again, just going to show you, it's been previously marked as exhibit 95. Is that fair to be the left side
Yes.
basement? And exhibit 96. Where did you see the father?
She's attempting to pull up the
I
George
was sitting
Fortunes.
on
Yeah, but this is
A
wild.
couch or
This-
something in the area. Not sure exactly which one.
I just wanted to say hi to Ivory. I'm so glad to see you.
Did you also
Hello,
observe,
Dewey.
the
Thank you
children
so much. I
on the floor?
appreciate it.
Yes.
How many children?
2.
What did you do when
That's
you
okay.
observed the children?
We started CPR. They were in cardiac arrest.
Okay, and so which child did you work on?
A 5-year-old girl
Where was she located?
That makes sense.
on the floor
Jen.
in that room.
So as far as looking at exhibit number 96, does that depict the area, general area where you saw the 5-year-old child?
Yes.
Where did you treat her? Where did you see her?
Right in that area. I can't remember exactly where it was.
Okay. In this photograph of exhibit number 96, do you see a lot of equipment?
Yes.
Right?
And I'm just going to show you exhibit 101 too, with some more equipment. Do you see all that equipment there?
Yes.
Is that equipment that was used to treat the 5-year-old child?
All right, do me a favor, guys, numb thumbs, because I'm just going to take off the thing and show y'all.
Yes.
While you were assisting or working with Cora, what was
Tap
Jen
the hell out of the
doing,
screen,
your
guys,
partner?
before I get
She
a
was
violation.
with the other child.
Do you recall where the other child was in relation to Cora?
They're kind of right next to each other.
Thank you, team.
So again, showing you exhibit number 96, if you look to the middle of the photograph, there's a red spot on the floor. Is that a fair place where Cora was?
Yes.
And would the other child, the younger infant, was he closer to the couch or the bed area, or was he in a different location in the basement?
Probably more towards this side, I would say, if I can remember.
When you say this side,
Like
what do you see in the picture to depict where?
probably closer to the cardiac monitor.
Okay, and can you tell us which is the cardiac monitor? Is it here at the bottom?
Yes, that piece of equipment right there.
And again, in Exhibit 101, can you see the cardiac monitor a little better?
Yes,
Where is it in this photograph?
right there.
Alabama, the husband testified the first 2 days. He finished yesterday.
So we're talking about this black bag that is sort of off center of the photograph next to a blue bag. Is that fair? Is that?
Sorry, what was the question?
He couldn't even keep up with her.
The record. So you pointed to a black bag that's kind of off center in this photograph, correct?
This is a cardiac monitor.
Okay, thank you.
And there I got restricted.
When you started to treat Cora, what were your observations of her when you came upon her?
I noticed she kind of looked like she had some burst blood vessels around her eyes.
Did you make any observations of the color of her skin?
That was kind of pale, bluish.
When you approach the patient, what's the first thing that you do to assess them?
I check for breathing, check for a pulse.
Did she have a pulse?
No,
Was she breathing?
no.
And when you're doing those things, are you able to make observations of the area around their face, like their nose and their mouth?
Yes.
In this circumstance with Cora, did you notice anything around her mouth?
Around her mouth? Not that I can recall.
See, this is why Ivory becomes a wise ass. I can't handle this nonsense.
When you were trying to
Makes no
assess
sense.
her
It's irrelevant.
breathing, is there anything you do to try to resuscitate somebody or get them to breathe?
Yes, we would use a bag valve mask to help them breathe.
Did you do that for Cora?
Eventually, when we got the equipment down there, yes.
And were you able to use that device and get her to breathe on her own?
No.
And while you're utilizing that bag valve mask, fair to say you're in close contact and making observations of the patient's face and mouth, correct?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
And you indicated that you're not sure if you recalled seeing anything around her mouth.
Nothing particularly that I can think of.
Okay, if I may approach.
Yeah.
Just going to show you
The salt and pepper hair.
17 through 19 to yourself.
How many memes are going to come out of
Does that
this?
refresh your memory?
You know it.
This guy. Yeah.
What did you observe in or around Cora's
Who needs a
mouth?
But she
BVM?
did have some blood in her mouth.
Did eventually other emergency staff come down and help you with rendering aid on Cora?
Yes.
And fair to say, one of the things
Alabama Sama, thank you for the follow.
compressions and CPR.
Yes.
And can you do that by yourself, or do you often have to have somebody help?
No, we usually have multiple people working.
And in this circumstance, with the treatment of Cora, other people came in and helped you with those things?
Yes.
Were you eventually
Very
able to
true. Box
prepare
on,
her
bro.
to leave the basement area?
Yes, once we get more first responders down there.
And fair to say there was first responders from other departments that came and helped prepare to bring Cora out of the basement, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall how she left the basement?
We took her out of the basement on a...
She got up and walked. What do you mean?
Bulkhead stairs.
And the firefighters that were assisting putting her on the backboard, do you remember where they were from, what town?
Marshfield.
When Cora was placed into an ambulance, do you remember what ambulance she was placed into?
Marshfield ambulance.
Did you continue to help assist them when she was put in the ambulance?
Yes, I went to the hospital with them.
And do you remember who the firefighters were that were from Marshfield that were helping you?
The first 4 we spoke to.
Yes.
Told the same story.
Andrew Wilkins, Ryan Henry, and Kerry Carver.
And fair to say Andrew and Ryan were in the back of the ambulance with you, correct?
Yes.
And Kerry was driving?
I believe she was in the back also.
Okay. At some point, somebody
next?
hopped in the front seat and drove?
Yes.
And when you got to the hospital, which hospital did you transport to?
Beth Israel, Plymouth.
Were efforts continued to be made in that transport from Duxbury to Beth Israel and Plymouth?
Yes.
No, they just stopped.
While inside of the ambulance, did you try to use one of those cardiac machines to shock or defibrillate Cora?
Yes.
Was there any result for that?
We shocked once, but did not regain pulses.
And when you got to the hospital, did you transfer care to the emergency staff at Beth Israel?
Yes.
And did you do anything further on the care and treatment of Cora?
Not once we.
YSend helps
Thank
millions
gosh.
of learners
You know what?
succeed with
We're
the
all gonna
nation's
watch
largest
this
network
ad
of
because
tutors.
I need a
Your
break.
child gets one-on-one lessons.
There you go.
This is wild.
Mr. Reddington?
There's no questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down. Thanks.
Next time, can you at least be wearing a wet t-shirt and a pair of boxers? Because the jury's not gonna, they don't care. I forgot to order it, Chelsea. Paige, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
And the fun's on top. Good.
Ew, those are gross.
They really are nasty. It's like them.
Oh, my kids love them. Let me guess. Now it's the chick that was driving the ambulance that's going to get up here and, well, did you accelerate on the way to the hospital? Come on, man. Like, I get it. They were in cardiac arrest. They didn't get them back. They were unable to save them because their mother choked them. It's not in question. I mean, the mailman was walking down the block while all this happened. Did you get him in here? Like, I saw them all pull up, and there was some kind of emergency.
Same objection.
The jury's sitting there like, is this supposed to mean something to me? Like, now I'm confused, and now I feel like, well, you know. Well, at least you all know now the difference between an EMT and a paramedic. So there's that. I want that lady's job. Raise your right hand.
Why don't you stop right there, please?
Hey, good morning. Hi. I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up so the jury can hear you, okay? Okay. Great, thank you. Yeah, tree break.
Thank you. Good morning. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, Jennifer Stratton, JenniferStratton.
And your date of birth?
July 11th, 1986.
Where do you work?
Duxbury Fire Department.
Oh,
And how long have you been a Duxbury firefighter?
12 years.
Are you also a paramedic?
Yes.
And how long have you been a paramedic?
About 13.
And have you completed all the training and certification required to be a paramedic?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
And were you working a 24-hour shift that started at 8 a.m.?
Yes.
And were you part of a crew that was dispatched to 47 Summer Street just after 6 p.m.?
Yes.
And who was with you in that crew?
Firefighter Patrick Dwyer was with me in the engine that night.
And approximately how long did it take you to get from the station you were located at to 47 Summer Street?
Maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
And were you driving?
I was driving that night.
What did you see?
Have your foot on the gas?
Pulled up to the address.
On your left.
Saw our ambulance crew. They had arrived just before we did. They were starting to walk to the back of the house.
And did you follow?
Yes.
And what did you see in the backyard?
Came to the backyard, saw firefighter Dan Doherty kneeling next to a person. It was very dark. Ended up being Miss Clancy. That was all we saw for a few seconds.
And at that point, did you hear something?
We did, heard a voice yelling for us to get inside of the house, that there was a kid hanging in the basement.
And did you go into the house?
Hanging in the basement?
And what entrance did you go in?
Through the slider doors in the rear.
And did that lead you into the kitchen?
Yes.
And then did you proceed to the basement?
Yes.
When you got down to the basement, down the basement stairs, would it be accurate to state that you can either go right or left?
Yes.
Which direction did you go?
We took a left.
And what did you see when you went left?
We took a left and we saw Callan and Cora face up on the ground.
And
it was a
when you
miscommunication
saw them, what did you
because
do?
there was a strangle.
I
I don't think
immediately
anybody was hanging.
jumped on the radio to ask for 2 additional ambulances, that we needed more help. And Patrick ran to Cora and I went to Callan.
And
You said it so many times, you should be well versed in these questions.
showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 100. Is this the room that you entered?
Yes.
And where was Cora, to your memory?
Cora was just to the left in this picture, and Callan was just to the right.
And when you say
Sarah
just
Jane,
to the
thank you
left,
for the follow. I
over
appreciate it.
towards the equipment against the wall in the picture?
Yes.
And when you say to the right, are you pointing to the area to the right of the dresser?
Yes.
Showing you Exhibit 98. Is that the area where Callan was found?
Yes.
And close up, Exhibit 99. You see the pajamas there, the stethoscope, and the blue exercise band?
Yes.
Do you recall removing Callan's
Me too,
pajamas?
Sarah Jane.
I did, yes.
So when you went over to Callan, you remove his clothing. What do you do after that?
I didn't remove his entire onesie right away. Made sure that checked him for a pulse. He did not have one. Immediately started chest compressions on him.
Now, for this is an 8-month-old baby,
Yes.
correct? Is the way you do chest compressions for a baby different than other people, other ages?
Yes, because of the size, you have to scoop your arms around and you compress with your thumbs in the
Oh, wow.
So you said you have to put your hands underneath on the back of the child and then use your thumbs to do compressions?
Yes.
And is that what you did for Callan?
Yes.
And what did you do next?
Continued CPR on him until more help and hands started to arrive on scene. We had an off-duty firefighter, Tom Brandt, come in, and he started to assist me. He took over compressions briefly while more help started to arrive.
When Brandt took over chest compressions, what did you do?
At that point, someone had brought down a bag valve mask to help us deliver oxygen to the child, and we started delivering oxygen to the child.
And at some point, did you remove the pajamas completely? Yes. And when you removed the pajamas completely, was that so someone could attempt to get IO access through the baby's legs? And was that successful?
That was not successful, no.
Is that difficult to do with a child that age?
It's a little more difficult. It's a less frequent practice skill, but.
Were multiple attempts made to get the IV and access into the bone in Callan's leg?
I attempted once, and another provider attempted a second time. I don't remember who that was.
And neither attempt was successful? What did you do next?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Oh, what was your answer?
For which
I'm sorry. Was either attempt successful?
No.
What did you do next?
Eventually, Kingston Fire arrived on scene to provide the ambulance for transport for Callan. I don't know how long we were in the basement for, but we did make the decision. Eventually, it was time to get moving to the truck and start going to the hospital.
While you were working on Callan, did you notice any injuries on him?
Yes, he had deep strangulation marks around the entire circumference of his neck.
And throughout the entire time that you're in the basement, are chest compressions being done, and you're trying to assist him with breathing?
Yes.
Did he, in the home, ever regain a pulse or the ability to breathe?
No, he did not.
Was he eventually taken to the ambulance?
Yes.
And how was he removed from the basement and brought to the ambulance?
I scooped him up in my arms and carried him outside to the truck.
And did you go with him in that transport to the hospital?
Yes.
And at any point in time, did he regain the ability to breathe or?
Oh, hello.
Man,
I'm
this
Parker
is
Posey.
exhausting.
Can I let you in on my summer hosting secret? It's a lot.
Medical staff at Beth Israel Deaconess Plymouth.
Yes.
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Reddington? Give me September.
I'm getting questions. Please don't be another one, though. We got it. We understand your
Someone
point.
calls Robert Costanzo.
We approach the same, but
Guys, there was like 20 people on site, I'm sure. You had 3 mutual aids called. Do you know the amount of people that were at that scene? Y'all, I can't. This is like, I can't. These jurors are just like, guys, we know she did it. It was 4 trucks. Yeah. You know what I mean? And an ambulance usually doesn't go without 2 people. You need a driver and somebody in the back. So that's 8 people right there. You got the police that showed up, detectives that eventually showed up. You have, you know, they were EMTs. So then you got the paramedics coming with extra trucks. I mean, with extra people. The amount of people that were at the scene is unbelievable. I'm not sure where she's going with this, but like, where can we land the plane soon? Yeah, this is the first time I think I'm not mad about the sidebar.
I think the prosecution, what they're trying to do is listen to how graphic and horrible this is with these sweet poor babies, and what mother could do that. You know what I mean? Like, let's not think about her mental health. What mother could do that?
I get that, but doing that with 10 people, first of all, you're wasting resources. Second of all, I would really use the time to focus more on how she wasn't in psychosis. I get you want to pull emotion, but at the end of the day, people are going to want to see facts, right? And what you have to say. This is showing nothing towards whether or not she was in psychosis or not. In fact, the only thing you're doing is, I mean, really, it's helping the defense. So it makes, like, I get what you're doing and you want to pull at heartstrings, but heartstrings don't win cases. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling a story, but now the story's drawn out. And it's like, you kind of have to, I mean, what are you going to do? Go through 20 people with the same story? If you have, you know what I mean? Like, you got to, at some point, you got to start proving the case. This has nothing to do with that. I don't know why defense isn't objecting. And he's not objecting because it's helping him. You know, the worse these kids are, the more it's going to make these jurors seem like you really are not in your right mind to have done this. Yeah. Marissa, thank you for the follow. It's important for the jury to feel the intensity and gravity of this tragedy. Yeah, but I mean, to what extent? Like, you really have to start proving a point somewhere. Like, I can see if she was on trial for guilt, but she's not. Like, you can't, emotion is not going to win your case for you, though. It helps, but you got to do something a little bit more than just pure emotion. Yeah, the intensity and gravity of her mental health is what's mentioned.
Right this way.
That was a long sidebar.
Yeah. Once that jury checks out today, that's it. You're not going to get him back if you have something important to say. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, good morning, sir.
Morning.
How many did trim that mustache?
Can I?
No.
Thank you.
What is
Good morning. Can
doing?
you please state and spell your name for the record?
It's Robert Costanzo, Costanzo.
I need you to
And your
fix
date of
that,
birth, please.
buddy.
4/24,
There's a caterpillar
1985.
growing off your
Where do you
head.
work?
Pembroke Fire Department.
And how long have you been a Pembroke firefighter?
I've been there since 2011.
And are you also a paramedic?
I am.
How long have you been a paramedic?
Firefighters are allowed to have that around there.
2011,
That's wild.
and I started in EMS in 2006.
And have you done all the training and certification required to be a paramedic?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
And were you working an overtime shift
Yeah, I
that
can't
day?
even see you to say it.
What was your role on that shift?
I was assigned to the ambulance.
And at some point after 6 p.m. that day, was there a call put out by Duxbury Fire Department for mutual aid?
At least say no and like really mess with her head.
Being
No,
members of the
I
Pembroke
wasn't
Fire
there.
Department, did you respond to that request for mutual aid?
Yes, we did.
Who responded?
It was me and my partner.
Who was your partner?
Dan Smith.
And did you go in an ambulance or some type of engine?
An ambulance.
And did you respond to the area of 47 Summer Street?
Yes, we did.
And approximately how long did it take you to get there?
Between 5 and 8 minutes.
When you arrived, what did you see?
There were multiple pieces of equipment, other ambulances, police cars.
When you arrived, were you directed to the backyard?
Yes.
And did you see a patient there in the backyard?
Yes, we did.
And where was she located?
She was on the ground with a Duxbury firefighter. She was already C-spined on a longboard with a collar. She was unresponsive, but breathing on the ground.
And did you learn her name was Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And when you say she was already on a board with a C-spine, what type of equipment are we talking about? And if you could just explain to the jurors.
So it's just a long flat board that we use to secure people when there's possible spinal injury. And she already had the collar on her neck. They had already started treatment prior to our arrival. So they had her all secured to the long backboard with the collar applied.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear him. I was, the sketch was moving. What did he say?
Her wrists were bandaged previously, assuming some kind of injury. There was no active bleeding or anything through the bandage. It was just, but her wrists were bandaged.
Was it white bandaging?
Yes.
And so nothing was seeping through to your eye? Did you see anything on her neck area?
She had some superficial lacerations that we could see around the collar, but we don't typically remove equipment after it's already been placed. So I didn't investigate any further than that. There was no active bleeding that I could see, so we just left it alone.
So there was, even with the collar, there was nothing, no blood flowing out of the collar or pooling around her or anything like that?
Correct.
Was she breathing?
She was.
Was she responsive?
No.
Was she making any noise at all?
She was moaning and groaning, but no words, no verbal response.
Did you bring her to your ambulance?
Yes, we did.
And when you got to the ambulance, what was your role?
I was the tech in charge. So we did as much of an assessment as we could without removing her from the board to look for any further injuries. Other than the injuries that the Duxbury Fire Department had already found, we didn't find any further injuries.
Falling and severing the spine in and of itself can drop your blood pressure drastically.
When you did the assessment, did you look at her head?
Yes.
Were there any cuts or bumps or dents that you noticed in her head?
Not that we noticed, no.
What about her arms other than the bandaging on her wrists? Were there any cuts, obvious broken bones or injuries to her arms or her hands?
No obvious broken bones or anything, no.
And you said you were the tech. What does that mean?
I was the medic that was in charge. It's one or the other. You're either assisting the medic that's in charge or you're the medic in charge. Okay. So I was the medic in charge.
And was anyone else in the back of the ambulance with you treating Ms. Clancy?
Yes, my partner, Dan Smith.
Who was driving the ambulance, if you recall?
It was our deputy chief, Jim Shea.
And do you recall which hospital you went to?
South Shore Hospital.
While you're, well, let me ask you, how long approximately did it take you to get?
Thank you, YouTube ads. Thank you.
A little bit longer than that. I'm not sure the exact time, so probably maybe 18 minutes.
Okay. And while you're in that transport in the back of the ambulance, after you've done this examination of Lindsay Clancy to see if there are any other injuries, what do you do next?
So we
Lucy
would start treatment. So we started putting 2 IVs as a precaution.
and any other treatment that was needed. So we noticed that her pupils were constricted, and she was unresponsive. So we treated for a potential opioid overdose. We gave 2 milligrams of Narcan, and she seemed to become a little bit more.
But hold on, did she take an opiate or did she take a benzodiazepine? Because Narcan does not work on benzos.
Communication. She never like fully woke up.
And have you given
what opiates
Narcan to individuals in the past in your role as a paramedic?
Yes, I have.
What is the typical reaction when you give a patient Narcan?
It depends on the drug that they took or the amount of drugs that they took, but depending on what they take, they usually, their respirations will go up, their pupils will get a little bigger, or sometimes they fully wake up.
We know who they are, who's referred to.
The patient.
Yeah.
And you were referring to patients that you've dealt with in the past in your role as a paramedic, is
That's
that correct?
Yes.
And so they would often wake up when given Narcan?
Yes.
And what type of drugs?
If they're unconscious, they overdose, not if they're
We're trained to
unconscious
use it
because
for
they have a
opioid
spinal injury
overdoses, so
and a head
heroin,
injury.
fentanyl, other drugs like that.
And does
They
Narcan
did.
typically work on benzodiazepines?
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't know.
We are not trained to use it for anything other than opioids.
Because it doesn't really work on
And when you
benzodiazepines.
gave Lindsay Clancy the Narcan, she did not wake up, correct?
No.
Did you provide any other care to Lindsay Clancy?
No,
on
it
the way to
wasn't,
the
because they
hospital?
wouldn't know
Just
exactly what
continued
meds
to
she
monitor
took.
vitals and make sure there was no
Narcan, what they
decline.
did was correct. It just, that's why it didn't
And
work.
once you arrived at the hospital, did you transfer her care to the hospital staff?
That's
Yes, we
so
did.
funny, Luna.
No other questions?
All right. So you're not trained in Narcan on benzodiazepines, is that correct?
Yeah, we don't give it for benzodiazepines.
And in any event, when you gave Narcan to the body that was laying on the ground, and she had already been wrapped up on her wrist, right?
That's correct.
Already been wrapped up, had the thing on the neck to prevent the head from moving, right?
That's correct.
And also it had bandages perhaps on her neck area, I'm not sure.
There were no bandages that I could see because
Just
the
the neck
collar
thing.
blocks. Yeah, most of it I could see. There are some holes in the collar that we could see some superficial lacerations through,
Right.
but there was no active bleeding. Her wrists were already bandaged, so we don't take the bandages off after they're on. And
Okay.
there was no blood
Good.
throughs.
I asked the questions, you can answer them, okay? Narcan
All right, buddy. I
administered
see
to
you.
Lindsay Clancy on the ground, yes?
In the ambulance, but yes.
And there was no reaction. It didn't have any effect on her, right?
She appeared to become a little bit more, she started like reaching and grabbing a little bit more than she was before.
That's consistent as well with a person who's had a head injury, right?
Yes.
Could be.
Yeah. So in any event, the Narcan that you're trained would be dealing with opioids, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, did you know, sir, at all that she suffered a burst fracture of a cervical spine? Did you know that, sir?
No.
T5 through T6, T4, 6, 7, 8, all exploded, fractured. Did you know that?
No.
Did you know that there was hemorrhaging into her body, that she fractured every rib in her body?
No.
It was pretty
So
dark
that
out there, wasn't
hemorrhaging,
it?
not even that, but after an accident
you-
like that, your body goes into a
Obviously,
shock. It goes into
administer aid to
a
her.
state
Did you
of, I
also
got to
have, like, a
preserve
flashlight on your head? Were you
the
holding a
really
flashlight or
important
what?
She
organs.
was
And so
already
all the
packaged.
blood
She was
flows
already
to
on
the
the
heart
longboard
area
moving, so
and
we
to
picked
the
her up, put her on the
area that
stretcher,
it
and
needs
moved out of the
to
backyard into the
survive. And
ambulance.
How
so
long did
the
you
lack of blood pressure
handle,
everywhere
if you
else would
will,
explain a lack of
her
bleeding.
while she was laying there?
On scene, we were only on scene for, I think it was 7 minutes, I think total on scene from the time that we,
Chaotic?
yes,
And it was dark in the backyard, right?
yes.
There was no exterior lighting,
I see you, sweet
nothing on the house that was lit up like spotlights or anything, right?
That's
Yes,
correct.
that's
No
what the
flashlights,
adrenaline
right?
rush is.
No.
And you scrutinized a hole in the thing that goes around the neck when someone has a head injury, especially a cervical injury, thoracic injuries. You scrutinized a hole that noted that there was a superficial wound to her neck.
That's all we could see through the side of the collar.
Who's we?
Me and my partner.
Was your partner scrutinizing the hole as well?
The whole, I don't know.
You said there's a hole in that, in the thing that goes around the neck.
Yeah, there's holes in the collar that you can see through.
Right, and you were scrutinizing. You were looking through it, right?
Yeah.
You told the jury you saw
Yes.
superficial cut of the neck, right?
Yes.
Did your partner look through the hole as well?
So in other words, you couldn't assess the entirety
Talked about
of the
this
injury.
With the district attorneys in the past, haven't you?
Yes.
One of the things that they asked you is whether or not it appeared as though the injuries to her neck or wrist were superficial. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And other than looking through the little hole in
You
the thing
couldn't
around
fully
her neck in the
assess the
dark,
wounds.
you didn't see her
Say it, buddy.
neck after that was removed, did you?
No.
So you couldn't
Oh, yeah.
assess the wound. All right. I see
Come
where
on,
you're
three drive.
going, Matlock.
Sir, after the 7 minutes that you were in the dark backyard, you were then in an ambulance for 18 minutes with the patient, correct?
That's correct.
And there's lighting in the ambulance, correct?
There is.
And during those 18 minutes in the well-lit ambulance, did you ever see blood seeping through the bandages on her wrists?
No.
During those 18 minutes in the well-lit ambulance, did you ever see blood pooling around her neck or flowing from the neck?
No.
Thank you.
But in all fairness, too,
Thank you, sir. You may sit
a
down.
cervical collar will also put pressure on the injury, on the site. I want to state that they're
Como calls Daniel Doherty.
No objection.
well, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that after she fell, there was no bleeding. I'm not arguing the fact that they didn't see. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense to me why there wouldn't be blood, active bleeding, when she jumped out a window and landed on the floor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, medically speaking, her body would then be in a state of shock where it's got to preserve the organs that keep her going, the brain, the heart. Your blood literally flows to those areas to keep it alive. It's a reaction that your body does. It's what shock is, right? Shock is where the blood flows through the areas to keep it. It's a biological response to keep you alive. So all of that blood rushing to the internal organs, and if she was hemorrhaging internally, which I'm not sure yet, makes sense why the exterior and the you know what I mean, the wrists and
Good
stuff.
morning. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Daniel Doherty, Dougherty.
And your date of birth?
8/27/1986.
Where do you work?
Duxbury Fire Department.
How long have you been with the Duxbury Fire Department?
5.5 years, full time.
Are you also a paramedic?
Yes.
And how long have you been a paramedic?
4 years.
And have you completed all the training and education and certification required to be a paramedic?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to
No, I
January
just saw one on
24th,
TV.
2023. Were you working that day?
I was.
And were you working a 24-hour shift?
Yes.
What was your role that day on shift?
Firefighter, paramedic.
And sometime after 6 p.m., did you respond to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
Yes.
And when you responded, who was with you?
Firefighter Heath was driving and firefighter Nudd was in the back.
And so you're in ambulance 1 at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And when you arrive at 47 Summer Street, what do you see?
There was 2 police cruisers either blocking the driveway or near it. So we pulled ahead of it, stopped the truck and got out.
And did you head to get equipment and head to the backyard?
Yes.
And what did you see in the backyard?
We had Officer Hall kind of directing us towards the...
You're a team. Your cars should be too. Couple your cars and couple.
And did you see a female on the ground?
We did.
And did you learn that was Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
Do you recall what she was wearing?
I believe it was jeans and a tank top.
Did she also have socks on?
I believe so.
And did you examine her or assess her once you reached her?
Yes.
And what, if any, injuries did you observe?
She had lacerations to both wrists as well as her neck.
And were those lacerations actively bleeding?
No.
Can you describe the lacerations that you saw on her neck?
There was dried blood, seemed to be somewhat superficial since there was no active bleed.
And what about the cuts on her wrists?
Same.
And would you say same? Are you saying that there was no active bleeding there?
Correct.
Okay. And what, if anything, did you do to treat those wounds?
We bandaged them up. I believe we placed a ABD pad, just a sterile pad on her neck as well.
You said an APD or a sterile pad. Is that just a type of like gauze or something? that
No,
you
an
put on the
ABD
wound?
pad is a very
And
thick
so you
pad. I
did
want
that,
people to know
and then
that.
you bandaged the wrist, or vice
An
versa.
ABD pad
It
is
was
very
the
thick.
wrist first, I believe, but we did secure the airway first before bandaging her wrist.
Okay. So when you first arrived, is she breathing on her own?
She was.
Was she responsive?
Somewhat.
And what does that mean?
Not totally responsive. Pretty much the painful stimuli.
And what is painful stimuli?
As we were moving her, she somewhat regained consciousness on us.
And painful stimuli, is that when someone reacts physically
No, she was
or verbally
responsive
to
only
pain?
to painful stimuli, which
And,
means that she was lacking in response.
You said that you assess her when you first get there. You said you did the airway first. Is that right?
Yes.
And how did you go about doing that?
We placed an OPA device to secure her tongue down, just to protect her airway.
What's an OPA device?
It's a plastic device that depresses the tongue just to keep the airway open.
Okay, so it's not the tube that goes down.
No.
It's just something that holds the tongue down.
That's correct.
Okay. And after you did that, what was the next step?
We placed a non-rebreather air mask on her and set the oxygen.
So is that just a mask that goes on the face providing oxygen?
Yes.
And then what did you do next?
From there, that's when we heard the scream.
And so did you bandage the neck and the wrist before the breathing, securing the breathing, or after?
That was after.
Okay, so just to be clear, first is securing the tongue down, putting the oxygen mask on, and then you did the bandaging?
That came later, yes.
Later, okay. So was the bandaging before or after you heard the screams?
That was after.
Okay. So when you hear the screaming, what, if anything, do you do?
I looked at Captain Hussey and Firefighter Heath, and we kind of all looked at each other, trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay. And did any of you leave the area after hearing the screaming?
Captain Hussey did. Firefighter Heath went to go get a backboard for the patient.
Okay. And did you stay with Lindsay Clancy?
I did.
Okay. And then is it at that point that you do the bandaging, or after you get the backboard?
Kevin was gone for a while, so that's when I started bandaging up her wrists.
Okay. And did he eventually return with the backboard?
He did not.
So you bandage the wrists. What happens next?
I believe it was Officer Hall came to the backyard. He asked if I needed anything. I told him the board. Kind of gave him a direction of where in the truck it was. And then he also left to go grab that for me.
And when you say the board, are you referring to the backboard?
Yes.
And did he return with the backboard?
Yes.
And was Miss Clancy loaded onto the backboard?
She was.
And who assisted you with that?
It was Officer Hall, I believe, and our retired deputy.
And is there a process that you follow when placing someone onto a board to ensure that that you don't cause further damage?
Yes.
And what is that process?
Just C-spine precautions. So you secure the neck and kind of make sure that it's immobilized as you kind of move the patient.
So what did you do to secure her neck?
We had someone at her neck. I don't remember who it was. Just kind of hold steady that her neck didn't move in the process.
Okay. And then did you follow that protocol, the C-spine protocol, to safely put her onto the backboard?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point was a collar placed around her neck?
I believe so, yes.
And then what happened next?
I believe I got on the radio and asked our captain who was transporting first, because we knew that there was multiple patients at that point.
Okay. And what were you told?
Pembroke was on its way in. They may have just arrived, and she was going with Pembroke.
Okay. And were you part of the team that transported her from the backyard to the Pembroke ambulance?
Yes.
And did you help load her into the Pembroke ambulance?
Yes.
And did you go with them during that transport?
I did not.
After Miss Clancy was loaded into the ambulance, did it leave?
Yes.
What did you do next?
I went to our ambulance that was in the driveway at that point.
Okay. And was Dawson Clancy in that ambulance?
He was.
And did you ride in the ambulance to the hospital with Dawson Clancy?
I did.
Yes.
What was your role in that ambulance?
I was operating the bag valve mask for him.
Okay. So you're trying to provide oxygen to him through the bag valve mask? Okay. And was his care then transferred to Beth Israel Deaconess Plymouth medical staff?
Yes.
And nothing further.
Attorney Reddington?
So the one whose testimony actually mattered, you zipped
Tell me
through.
again,
That made no
are
sense.
you an EMT, a paramedic, or
Paramedic.
paramedic?
Mhm.
And how long do you study for that?
2 years plus.
Would that be full-time studying, or are you working at the same
I
time?
was working at the
Okay.
same time.
Do you know on that evening what the temperature was outside?
It was cold.
Wicked cold, wasn't it?
30s.
Was there
It was low
snow on
to
the
that,
ground
wasn't
that day?
Couldn't. I was a
It
couple.
was really cold.
Yeah.
And how long was she laying in the snow and on the ground?
We got the call at 6-ish or whatever time it was. We
The call
responded.
came because her husband came home from picking up food and found her on the ground, right?
Correct.
So you don't know how long she was laying in the snow on the ground, right?
No.
24th.
And what's hemostasis? Do you know?
What's that?
What's hemostasis? What does that mean?
Just
Hemostasis.
coagulation.
And you know what the effect of hypothermia? Let me ask you, what's hypothermia?
It's just the body under temperature of the body.
Under temperature of the body?
Or your body is not at temperature that it should be.
The
Right,
core
because
temperature
of
drops
the
below
environment,
what is
right?
considered normal,
Cold,
which
yes.
is
Yes.
Sometimes it can be medically induced, right?
Mhm.
Hypothermia affects the blood flow, doesn't it?
Yes.
In fact, you actually have a thing called therapeutic hypothermia, right?
Mhm.
Like if they have to restrict the blood flow to either a heart or a brain or something, that a person can be induced medically to be cold,
Yes.
and it would restrict blood flow, right?
I see you, buddy. All right.
So all these questions about whether or not there's blood seeping through the wrist bandages and whether or not there's blood through the holes on the neck brace, you don't know what effect the hypothermia, if any, had on that, would you?
No.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Redirect?
Sir, there's typically heat in a hospital, correct?
Usually, yes.
And were you aware that, Miss Clancy went to South Shore Hospital, correct?
Yes.
And are you aware that the wounds on her wrist did not have to be sutured until the following day?
I didn't get any of that information after.
So if
Were
they
you
were
aware that the
sutured,
wound
there
on the
was
neck never had to be
problems with
sutured?
bleeding,
Same answer.
Thank you.
Anything
or
further?
it was deep enough to become
Thank
infected.
you, sir. Let me sit down. Thank you.
So are they trying to say that she didn't really try to hurt herself? It was just for show? I feel like that's where she's going with this.
You may testify.
The point is right. Wasn't right.
What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, need to
So in other words, it wasn't a real attempt at killing herself. I think it was.
She didn't do it hard enough. That's what I was trying to say yesterday. It's really hard to get the temperature and everything right.
Right, and I think that they're trying to make the point that it wasn't a serious attempt.
Yeah, that's what they get that with that one. So it was both
Right.
ways, isn't it? It did succeed, so she had to
Right.
All right, good morning, sir.
Morning, all right.
Who is this now? Another one?
Sure.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Sure. My name is Vincent Cahill, to be Vincent. Last name Cahill, that'll be Cahill.
And your date of birth, please.
11/11/1996.
Where do you work?
Who's a baby?
I work at the Duxbury Police Department.
How long have you been with the Duxbury Police Department?
About 5.5 years.
I want to direct your attention to January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you on patrol?
Yes.
And directing your attention further to approximately 6:11 p.m., were you dispatched to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you arrived there, how long did it take you to get there approximately?
A couple minutes.
And when you arrived there, what did you see?
When I arrived there, I saw a cruiser in the driveway, as well as an ambulance and a fire captain.
And did you head to the backyard?
Yes.
And did you see a woman on the ground there being cared for?
Yes.
And did you later learn that was Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
At some point, do you hear or did you hear loud screaming?
Yes.
And as a result of that, did you go inside the home?
Yes.
And did you go to the basement area?
Yes.
And when you went down the basement stairs, did you go to the right or the left?
I initially went to the right and I was following the father.
So as you're going down the stairs, you say the father, is that Patrick Clancy?
Yes.
Do you see him as you're going down the basement stairs?
Yes.
And where is he coming from and where is he going to?
It's coming from my left, heading to my right.
And what is his demeanor?
He was screaming.
And as you came down the stairs, did he point in a direction?
Yes.
Where did he point to?
To the left side.
And is that where you headed?
Yes.
And when you went to the left, did you see two children on the floor in that area of the basement?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I checked the pulse of the 5-year-old girl and passed that information along. And then when fire came on scene, I then was backing away because fire was going to start taking care of the 5-year-old girl. I then backed into the infant who was on the ground.
So you said that you checked the 5-year-old. Was that Cora Clancy?
Yes.
You checked her for a pulse. Did she have a pulse?
No.
And you said fire came down and started taking over. Was that firefighters from Duxbury Fire Department?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you started backing up. Is that when you bumped into Callan Clancy?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that point in time, what did you do next?
I checked Callan's pulse.
And did he have a pulse?
No.
Did firefighters take over care of Callan?
Yes.
At that point, did you do something to make it easier for the people to fit in the room and treat the children?
Yes. I moved a large futon or ottoman, piece of furniture.
And I'm showing you Exhibit 96, directing your attention to the couch bed and the ottoman on top of it. Were you the one that placed that ottoman on top of the couch bed?
Yes, ma'am.
After that, were you asked to help get some equipment for the children?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And did you bring the equipment to the basement?
Yes.
And after that, did you assist with getting Cora to the ambulance?
I assisted with rescue breaths with Cora as well as CPR. I aided with Officer Josephine.
And how were you doing the rescue breaths and the CPR?
I was using a bag valve mask. Myself and Officer Josephine were timing it every
Even Moo is rolling his eyes right now, guys. Just an
couple seconds. It
FYI.
was 15 seconds. I was doing rescue breaths on Cora.
Okay. And at some point, she's taken out of the basement into an ambulance, correct?
Yes.
Did you assist with that?
I don't recall.
And at any point, did she regain a pulse or ability to breathe while you were helping to assist her? At some point in time, were you given the task of monitoring who came into the scene and who left the scene
Yes.
Throughout the night?
Yes.
And showing you what's entitled Crime Scene Entry and Exit Log. Is this the form that you were in charge of? It's just documenting every time someone came to the scene or left the scene.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
You have this marked as the next exhibit, please.
Any objection?
No.
All right, that may be admitted.
Have nothing further, thank you.
Counsel?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if we may approach that.
Sure.
Wow. So Lakota just said that she thinks that they're saying that they think she hung from the window before dropping. I'm not sure. Have you been? That she hung and slid down? Well, that doesn't make any sense considering how she fell. She fell head towards the building and her feet away. That doesn't make, yeah, I don't know that that makes much sense to me.
Right at the beginning today, they did show a picture of the back of the house, and the first guy that came on, which I don't think we've seen, he was asked a lot by the prosecution about the positioning she was in. For like 5-10 minutes, she was going, where the head was at, where the thing was at. So there's quite a lot of that right at the beginning today about her position.
We'll
So,
go, yeah, we'll go back and watch that. So how did they end up that she was positioned with her head towards the building, right?
yeah. But
And
yeah,
her feet
the
away.
two people came on, she like, when you first saw her, where was she? And then she asked the second one. Well, they've not asked the one since then, but the first and the second, that was the first question. Where was she when you came around that corner? I don't know why, because she's not moved herself, but it was very specific to that. So
If she hung from that windowsill,
that they're trying to get, they went home. It went on for like 10 minutes. So
yeah, if she hung from that windowsill and she dropped to the ground from that, she would have fell feet closer to the building, I would think.
I thought you went head first.
So I think that's what the defense is trying to say, and the prosecution's trying to say if she hung and she didn't really jump. However, if she hung and fell and dropped, I feel like she would have been feet towards the building, not head.
Talking
But
to
she was
counsel,
found
there's still
found
there's a
head
couple of
towards the
issues
building.
that we have to kind of hammer out and get done. And rather than have you wait around, I'm not quite sure how long that's going to go. I'm going to excuse you for the day. All right? I told you sometimes the schedules don't always.
You're done for the
match
day?
up what I tell you they're going to do even a couple hours before. So I'm going to excuse you until tomorrow morning. All right. And so tomorrow morning, the plan is that we're going to go on this view. And I'll explain it a little bit more in detail tomorrow. But just so you can kind of picture it in your head, I'm going to ask you to be here, to be ready to come out here at 9 o'clock. I'm going to address you, probably ask those same questions. Then I'll give you a little bit of information about the view. I'll give you an instruction.
Yeah, Holly, they'll get a look at the window tomorrow.
To a couple of areas. You're going to be able to get out.
Anything is possible on Cloud9. Upgrade your combo or 32-ounce drink to a Cloud9 cup while supplies last. One love.
That's wild.
Build a campaign plan for the upcoming launch.
We may end up a little bit early tomorrow as well in regards to the schedules. And at that point, I'm going to talk to council, kind of see where we are in regards to the overall schedule. But it's my impression that we are ahead of schedule at this point.
There's no way.
So I just kind of wanted to let you know that. So I'm going to excuse you till tomorrow morning rather than have you sit here and just kind of wait in regards to that. So I'm going to excuse you till tomorrow. I'd ask you to be here at 9, check the weather, but you'll be on the view in the morning, and then there'll be some witnesses in the afternoon. All right, so remember, I'm going to ask you those questions. Don't read anything, don't talk about it, don't do any research, don't take any field trips, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you.
Court, all right. Good. Closing no position on the chair, please. Follow me.
That's interesting. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to this morning, guys.
does she have to be in the courtroom all the time?
Yes.
Because I'm thinking, what if he has like physiotherapy and stuff and everything?
Yeah, she needs to be in the courtroom.
I think she's got things on and they can't do it. So maybe she has that. I don't know. I'm just in my head thinking, why did they keep having hours off? Maybe she's got something this afternoon.
It's possible. All right, let me see. I'm going to go back to this morning.
All right, good morning, counsel. Good morning.
This isn't whether this trial isn't whether she's right or wrong. This is determining where she'll go. If she was to go into a prison, would they be capable of taking care of her injuries?
Yes, they would. They would.
All right, good morning, counsel. All right, good morning, Ms. Clancy.
Not her mental health issues, though.
No, right. Just didn't know, like, if a person was outfitted to take care of quadriplegic, whatever she is.
Yeah.
Don't they have therapy at the prisons?
Like mental health therapy, not to the extent that she would need it if she was truly in a psychotic state.
To be honest, though, it's quite good because these first two, you might have to stop and start a bit. It's been really, you know what I mean? Really.
Yeah.
So it might be good to do these on repeat.
Thank you for your patience with us. Okay, so that's the schedule. And then at the end of the day, tomorrow, I'll address kind of where we are in regards to the timeline and the kind of overall schedule.
I'm going to
just so
pause
you have
this
some kind of idea
because
where we're
I'm going to take a
All right, so
restroom
with
break
that, I'm gonna
before we
we're
get
gonna
into these new, so y'all could take over for a minute. I will be right back, and then we'll get into these.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my feet.
So, in the chat, I'm curious how many think that this was premeditated? I don't either. The prosecutor is annoying. Yeah, she is. Not you, Heidi. Not you, Loopy. No, Lulu. No. You're so cute. For me, mommy.
The person that's talking at that time, and I know that's really gullible, but that's just me. You know, I get thinking into who is talking, and then I go back and flip to the next, and then that's just how I am until it all makes sense to me. But I'm flipping between. Sometimes I think, oh yeah, and then someone will say something, and I go, that's just my head. So here I go.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 at the moment, but yeah.
I mean, like, jury is hung where they'll retry it. Okay. But that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to go for a retry.
Evidence to me that she wasn't planning it was seeing the children's plates ready on the table for when he got home with the food.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it's the note taking in the journals showing, her attempting for these medications and writing down her feelings on them, even though she was only on them for some of them for a few days. They do have side effects. It doesn't have to fully kick in. On top of that, mental health is a challenge. Everybody's mental health is different. It's not one size fits all. So it's hard to determine. It's one of those things too. It's hard to determine because we're not in her mind. Yeah, that's the difficult part. We just don't know what she was thinking at the time.
That's true, but
I know she said her voice was telling her to do what she did, but I know before that, she was just talking about unaliving herself. But then when it came to the children, like that last day, what? Yeah, I can't understand how that came into her mind. Okay, the children are going too.
so Tina just said if she hadn't searched the distance time to the restaurant, I would be 100% with psychosis. So her picking that restaurant, why would she pick that restaurant that's so close to the CVS, that was 3 minutes away from the house? If she was truly trying to get him out for a longer period of time, wouldn't she have chose a restaurant that was farther away? And she wouldn't have called the CVS to make sure they had the medication and sent him for that medication. She would have called to see what they didn't have, right? And sent him for the medication they didn't have. So he would then have to go to another store. So I feel like that trying to use that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but why? If she called to see for the medication, I mean, what did they tell her? They had to tell her that they didn't have the brand she wanted because
No.
she talked to her in the store and he called her and said,
No, they told her that they had it, and he said, they have the off brand. Is this okay? And she said yes. So if she was really trying to get him to stay out longer, she would have said, no, I need this specific one. But she didn't. She was like, yeah, that's fine.
Can I ask a question to people in here? And I'm not trying to call anybody out, but where are you seeing that he cheated? Where is a viable source? Because that would be considered gossip. I want to know a viable source that states that, because I would figure the prosecution would use that as, oh, she wanted to get back at him. That would be a big thing in the prosecution's argument. So where are you seeing this?
He just got married. It's been 3 years.
And he doesn't have another child. There is no proof of that either. So it's just speculation. People are speculating. There's no proof of that either.
We're trying to create a situation that doesn't exist at this point. And we're trying to do that to justify. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Come on, Moo. Get down.
Again, if there was anything in his phone that, you know, showed he was having an extramarital affair and her knowing about it, the prosecution would be leveraging that as the reason. Right?
They were
brought that up in a heartbeat.
They were both talking about how great they were, what a great family, both of them were saying the same thing. Yeah, that absolutely would have been used as a reason to say she wasn't in psychosis, she was angry. Yeah, I would have taken him out too. If I'm going to kill everyone, you're coming down with us. He could have had a burner phone. For what?
They would have found it.
Yeah, but for what did he need? Did he need a burner phone for cheating?
Yeah, a lot of cheaters do that. They have their little extra phone.
Yeah, but somebody somewhere would have come up with they were cheating. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I don't think that. Yeah. Would think that would be in the forefront of this case.
Yeah.
I don't think they did, but I also, again, I said yesterday that there seemed to be a distance between them after that baby. I don't know what, I'm not saying anything happened, but the fact that he went way more, and do you know what I mean? I just feel like there's something.
I definitely feel like he had more of a free for all, right? He had less of the responsibility.
He was like burning out and wanted just like, you know, going out. You know, when you don't want to spend time as much with someone,
yeah,
you like distance yourself. So, you know, I just think whether she felt that he was going away or she thought he was having something, but I just felt like something did change that last sort of year or whatever.
Yeah.
Exhausted going through the situation, especially with her mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a stress on both of them. You got to remember, they spend the majority of their time just in that house.
Yeah. Harley Quinn just said the basement was his office. Why the basement? The basement was not just his office. So the basement was a finished basement. It had a living room, an exercise room, his office. It was a living floor where they actually spent time. It had a living room, a television, couches. You saw that little like extra bed area, like with the desk. It wasn't just his office. So it made sense as to why the kids would be down there. All right, let me start this. All right, guys, do me a favor. Numb thumbs, numb thumbs. There's 162 people. I only need about 4 or 5 more heart me's to make my goal. I appreciate it if you can. If you can't, it's okay. Before I get the restriction to where y'all can't gift, because that's coming. And over here on YouTube and Facebook, if you guys can like repost, like the live, whatever it is you guys do over here, I appreciate that as well. All right, let me.
Turn to the case on trial. Commonwealth is presenting its evidence. Attorney,
I'm going to skip through his talk, and it doesn't make any sense.
A male voice.
the jury can hear you.
Yes.
And with that, Attorney Sprague.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Stephen Hall, Stephenhall.
And your date of birth?
3/26/1983.
Where do you work?
I work at the Duxbury Police Department.
How long have you been a Duxbury police officer?
Since 2015, so roughly 11 years.
I want to direct your attention to January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
I was.
What shift were you working?
The 4 to midnight.
And would
Yes,
be 4
Courtney, this
p.m.
is
to
the
midnight?
beginning.
Yes.
And were you in uniform? Yes. Were you in a marked cruiser?
Yes.
And were you on patrol?
Yes.
And being on patrol, were you alone or with a partner?
I was alone.
Further directing your attention to approximately 6:11 p.m. At that time, did you receive a dispatch to go to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
I did.
And do you recall approximately where you were when you received that dispatch?
I was at the Lincoln Street Fields in Duxbury.
And so how long did it take you to get from there to 47 Summer Street?
7 to 10 minutes.
And did you go to 47 Summer Street?
Yes.
And what did you see when you arrived there?
When I arrived, it was just a house. There was a gate open on the left side of the house.
I'll show you a few exhibits that have already been marked. And exhibit 33. Is this the house you responded to?
Yes.
I'm showing you exhibit 34. Is that the left side of the house?
It is.
And exhibit 35.
That was a comment over on YT Parody.
In this exhibit.
It is.
Or Heather. I'm sorry. Wow. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. You ain't on trial.
I arrived simultaneously with Officer Josephine.
And is he also an officer with Duxbury Police?
Yes.
And so did you both head to that same direction or did you go in different directions?
We both went to the backyard as we were dispatched to.
And you said you went to the left, correct?
Yes. We heard a male voice calling for us on the left side. So.
And that's where you headed?
Yes.
Okay. And did you encounter a male in the backyard?
Yes.
And did you later learn his name was Patrick Clancy?
I did.
What was his demeanor?
He was upset. Didn't know what was going on.
He was upset?
So.
And did you see anyone else in the backyard?
No.
Okay. Did you see anyone on the ground?
Yes.
And who was on the ground?
Miss Clancy.
Is that Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you point to her?
No issue with ID. Record may reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Thank you. Where was she positioned?
She was on the ground if you were looking at the backyard on the right side.
Showing you what's been previously marked as exhibit.
Oh, calm down, guys. Don't breathe. You'll be fine.
Is this the back of the house?
It is.
I'm showing you what's been marked as exhibit 37. Do you see the area where the defendant was when you entered the backyard?
Yes.
Mind standing up with court permission and just pointing that out to the jurors?
So in this area.
Yes, the record reflects anything here. The window well to the far right side of the back of the house.
Record may reflect that.
When you saw her in that location, do you remember where her head was?
I'm not gonna lie.
Her head was towards the house.
And where were her feet?
Pointing out away from the house.
Pointing out away from the house. Her head was towards the house.
Are you trained in first aid as part of your job?
Yes.
And do you carry equipment with you in case you have to provide first aid to someone?
Yes.
When you saw the defendant on the ground, did you go to her and observe any injuries?
She had cuts to both wrists and to the left side of her neck.
The cuts to her wrists, were those actively bleeding when you saw them?
No, they were not.
When you saw the cuts to her neck, were those actively bleeding?
No.
Did you, based on your training and experience, feel the need to provide any medical care to those cuts or use any of the equipment you had to tend to those cuts?
Not at that time.
Was she conscious?
Semi-conscious.
Blow your nose, buddy. You're whistling a little bit.
And what was she doing that gave you that indication?
She would wake up and move around and then kind of just go still again.
And when you say she would move around, what parts of her body was she moving?
Just her head, really.
Was she able to speak to you?
She wasn't, no.
Was she making any sounds?
She was just like, it sounded like she was in pain.
So something like moaning or something like that?
Yes.
Well, she was.
While you and Officer Josephine are there, do other first responders, such as firefighters, start to arrive?
Yes, they started to arrive, and I went to the to gate to direct them where to go.
And how did you know they had arrived?
You could hear the sirens.
So you heard the sirens and went to the gate to tell them to come to that side?
Correct.
I'm breathing on his
While
rhythm
you were
now.
doing this, did Patrick Clancy stay with you?
At one point, he went inside to say he was going to check on his children.
And did you see what entrance he used to go into the house?
He went towards the backslider. And
shortly after Patrick Clancy went inside the home, did you receive a call on your radio?
yes.
And what did you hear on your radio?
Dispatch said that he couldn't wake them up.
And did you know what they were talking about when you initially heard that?
Not really, no.
Did something then catch your attention?
Yeah, I heard a loud scream from inside.
And could you tell where it was coming from?
Just inside the house.
And the screaming, was it words or just sound?
It was just a sound.
When you heard that screaming, what did you do?
Thank you, Paradise.
Myself and Officer Josephine ran towards the slider and entered into the house.
And when you entered into the house, do you remember what room you entered into?
Into a kitchen.
And when you entered into the kitchen, could you still hear that screaming?
No. We could hear he was talking, but there was screaming was done.
When you said he was talking, who was talking?
Patrick Clancy.
So you could hear Patrick Clancy talking at that time?
Yes.
And could you tell where he was?
Yes, he was in the basement.
And did you head to the basement stairs?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as exhibit.
Reporting live from a wind tunnel.
Are these the stairs that you went to?
Yes.
It's a good mic. Yeah, me too, Stiletto.
Did you go to the bottom of the stairs?
I did.
Once you got to the bottom of the stairs, is it accurate that you either have to go right or left?
Correct.
Which direction did you go?
We heard Patrick Clancy talking from the right, so we went in that direction.
Could you hear what he was saying?
They ended the day already. Anxious.
Do you mind if I?
You don't recall?
Yes.
I have no objection, Your Honor. You need to refill it, I've got one of this before.
Do you recall him saying, I can't wake them up, I can't get them up?
Yes.
And do you remember his demeanor as he was saying that?
He seemed very upset.
What did you do in response to that?
He came from a back room, so we ran into that back room.
Just going back to when you came down the stairs and turned to the right, do you recall what type of room that was when you went to the right?
It looks like a workout room, like a workout area.
I'm going to show you few pictures here. If you could just look at them and tell me if you recognize what they say.
Yes.
And do you recognize these to be
Slow and steady, buddy. Slow and
of
steady.
that workout room that you entered into when you went to the right?
Yes.
We could have these marked as the next few exhibits.
Objection.
Those may be admitted.
Four exhibits.
I'm not laughing. This is heartbreaking.
Sir, showing you exhibit 89. Is that the view when you first come down the stairs and turn to the right?
Yes.
And then showing you exhibit 90 of those exercise bands there tied to the
Thank you,
closet door.
guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Sane.
91, just a close-up of that, correct?
Yes.
Mm.
Then 92, what are we seeing in this photograph, sir?
That was the back room that he seemed to be coming from.
So that's his office. You can see the printer and you can see the baby thing here. So he had to have had the baby in the seat at some point. Sorry, I just figured I'd pause that.
That Patrick was coming from?
Yes.
You also looked at 2 photographs from that room of those fair and accurate depictions of how the room looked that day.
Yes.
We could have these marked as the next 2 exhibits, please.
Okay. All right, they may be admitted.
He's stressed. Boy. Yes,
Did you head to that back room?
I did.
And what did you see when you got to that back room?
Just past the door on the left side, there was a body of a young child.
And do you remember what
Well.
position the child was in?
He had his feet towards the door and his head towards the wall.
And was he on his back or his stomach? Or...
He was on his back.
And do you recall what he was wearing?
He was shirtless. I believe he was just in a diaper or underwear of some sort.
And showing you
Thank you.
exhibit 93, if you wouldn't mind just pointing out where you saw his body. Record reflect he's pointing to the area of the yellow exercise band.
Are you like a paramedic or a nurse or something? Daisy May, I'm an RN, but I wasn't a paramedic.
That in that position when you saw the body of the child on the floor.
Yes.
Exhibit 94 was that position.
Oh my God. All right. Now the breathing is making me upset.
Learned that child's name was Dawson Clancy.
I did.
Antoinette,
and can you describe his physical appearance when you saw him?
He was discolored, like a bluish purple.
Do you remember what his face and neck looked like?
No.
Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you.
What happened next?
I called for paramedics to come to the basement. I also called for a supervisor, and Officer Josephine picked up the child, and we ran him outside through the front door to the ambulance.
And did you do anything after that, after giving Dawson to EMTs?
We ran back down into the basement to check to see if we could find other children.
And what made you think there were other children to find?
When Patrick Clancy said, well, I can't wake them up instead of just a singular.
And so when you went back inside, did you go back down the basement stairs?
Busy schedules, homework hovering,
Right. Thank you.
and that quiz is tomorrow when school feels...
That's a little heavy.
Sir, showing you a series of photographs. You could just tell me if they clearly and accurately reflect how the left side of the basement looked on January 24th, 2023 when you went in there.
Right, just for the record, they don't need to lay a foundation. I agree to the photographs, no objection to any of them, so we don't have to go through all the
All right,
foundations.
thank you. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are overdoing this whole. That's the foundation. We get it. Yeah, I'm with you, Parody. We're all going to need therapy after this. This was the hard one. Oh, he's crying. Stop it now.
just want to message you because I was watching it on my own. I was like, I don't want to watch this on my own. And I was like, somebody come on.
Thank you.
Sure. So showing you what's been marked as
Yeah,
Exhibit
this is
95.
heavy.
Is this what you saw when you
Oh.
went down the stairs and went to the left, that first view?
Yes.
And then showing you Exhibit 96, is that a further view as you go into the room?
Yes.
Now, when you went into that room, what did you see?
There were 2 children on the floor, motionless, and EMTs and paramedics were working on them.
And did you later learn that those children were Cora Clancy and Callan Clancy?
Yes.
Did you do anything to assist the medics at that time?
Excuse me. I asked if they needed any equipment.
And did they ask you to get some equipment?
They asked me to grab a heart monitor.
And did you do that?
I went and found the fire captain to ask where I could grab one. And he was pretty upset. So I ended up going back downstairs into the basement.
At some point in time, actually, if I could show you Exhibit 96 again and just ask if you could just point to us where you saw each child.
Okay.
Here. So for the record, the first area you pointed to was in between the blood stain and the black exercise band. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then the second area was over in front of that small nightstand or some type of shelving unit.
Yes.
At some point in time, did you go back outside?
Yes,
they stated they need an officer with Lindsay Clancy.
And I'm going to show you a photo here outside near that window well that's towards the right of the house. Is that where Lindsay Clancy was, where that medical debris is?
Yes.
And just showing you another photograph. Is that just showing further to the right in a broader area of that same scene?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. What was that? I'm going to go back to that, guys. In a second. Hold on.
All right. They may be admitted.
Is that just showing
Is this outside? So there was snow on the ground.
further to the right in a broader area of that same scene?
Yes.
I could have the close-up mark as the next exhibit and the broader photo as the
All
following.
right. They may be admitted.
It's 103 of 104.
So there was snow on the ground.
This is where I said that the question.
While you were out there with the defendant,
Yeah.
his medical staff.
Yes, Curly was
paramedics,
it, but
treating
hey,
her.
by the way.
Yes.
And did you happen to look up?
Yes, I did.
What did you see when you looked up?
There was an open window with blood marks around the window.
And did you also?
And you could tell
see
that
blood
from
marks
12 foot
on
away,
the
that there were
shingles
blood marks
or-
around the
I
window?
did.
Showing you a photograph here. So up at the top, is this the open window you're referring to?
Yes.
Zooming in on the shingles here to the left and right, just below that window, are those the blood marks you're referring to?
Yes.
And here in this photograph, you had mentioned blood marks on the upper window. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And then here at the top of the lower window, these marks here, are those the other blood marks that you saw?
Yes.
So couldn't it have been possible though that she was still bleeding when she left the window and there were droplets?
These photos.
That's how it got there?
As the next hits.
All right, they may be admitted.
To be fair, I think this would have been better after the visit to the house.
Yeah.
First and then all this out the window.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that if she was actively bleeding and you see it on the top of the window, which means she put her
While
hand
you were
there
out
to
there
get
in the
out,
backyard, did you see a ripped or?
but those were droplets. I don't.
105 through 108. While you were outside,
I don't know that you
did
slide
see
down
any
a
ripped
wall.
or torn screens on the ground.
No.
What did you do next?
I just went over to the paramedic, asked what I can help him with. He said she was good, but she kept taking her face mask off for oxygen, and so I just kept replacing it back onto her face.
And when you say she, you're referring to Lindsay.
Tomorrow
Clancy?
morning, Golden Rose.
And did you then help them get the stretcher to the ambulance?
Yes.
Yeah, that is ludicrous, Saturday.
I have nothing further.
All right. Reddington?
Thank you for your incredible service.
Thanks. All right. So you may step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Attorney Sprague?
Commonwealth calls Officer Brian Josephine.
Hey, love, peace. Thank you. The defense and the judge have been good friends for years and years. I'm not gonna lie though, I don't see any kind of like bias here. In fact, I see the complete opposite. He's going easier on the prosecution than he is on the defense.
Busy schedules, homework hovering, and that quiz is tomorrow?
We used to go
When school
fishing
feels
back in the
stressful.
70s. Well, that was like 40 years ago. 50 years.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the
Oh, did you? Thank you, love, peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Charlie.
All right, good morning, sir. All right, counsel?
Thank you. Good morning. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Brian, Brian, Josephine, Josephine.
And what's your date of birth, sir?
June 13th, 1990.
And where do you work?
I work at the Duxbury Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer?
I started there in April of 2020.
And did you work for the Plymouth Police before that?
Yes, I did.
And how long did you do that?
Almost 5 years.
What is your current role?
I am patrol officer.
Back in January of 2023, what was your role with the Duxbury Police Department?
I was the school resource officer for Alden and Chandler. I work with kids kindergarten through 5th grade.
Directing your attention specifically to January 24th, 2023, were you working an overtime shift that day?
Yes, I had picked up an overtime shift.
And what shift was that?
It was 4 to midnight, but I was scheduled to work till 8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you were scheduled to be there from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., is that correct?
That is correct.
And you were in a cruiser and a marked cruiser in a uniform?
Yes, I was fully dressed in Duxbury Police uniform. I was in a marked cruiser, Duxbury Police 172.
And did you receive a dispatch at approximately 6:11 p.m. to go to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
Yes, we did.
And when you say we, were you with a partner or were you alone?
No, I was by myself. We ride single in a cruiser there.
Okay. So when you say we, do you mean that it was dispatched to all officers on patrol?
So usually with critical incidents calls, they put it over to dispatch and they'll say, Duxbury police cars, start making your way to a certain address. That way everyone can get there as quickly as possible.
Okay. And so then you knew at that point to go to 47 Summer Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And approximately how long did it take you to get there?
I would say anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes.
So you were relatively close by when you received the dispatch?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And when you arrived at 47 Summer Street, what did you observe?
Dispatch was giving me a description of the house. It took probably 15 seconds for me to identify the house. Parked in the street. I saw the
Adri, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
I believe it was a mudroom that I went to.
Showing you exhibit 33. When you say the mudroom that you went to, did you actually go inside of the house or did you go to the door to the mudroom?
I went to the door to the mudroom to check if that was unlocked so I could make my way to the back of the house.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Door depicted in this photograph?
Yes, it is.
And is it the door to the left of the garage?
Yes, it is.
And was the door locked or unlocked?
It was locked at that time.
Does the house have wooden shingles on it?
Dispatch,
Did I
just
see
for
that?
confirmation of where that party we were trying to get to was located. They told me it was around back of the house, so I tried to make my way that way.
And when you went to the back of the house, how did you get there?
Well, referring back to the picture where the car was parked, I went to the right side, and I went around the garage. There was a fence, and I went over the fence, I believe.
So showing you exhibit 33, again, you went by these cars.
Yeah, so my whole thing is wooden shingles. Now, I've never had my house shingled in wood, but if she slid down that, don't you think she would have taken some shingles with her?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I don't think she slid down.
I don't know. We
And-
had a cedar siding house that was very strong.
And not even that, though, at least get splinters. Like, did she have any splinters?
Oh, right, yeah. Possibly.
I don't know where that thought just, I don't know where that, I just was like, that doesn't make sense to me. Huh?
What do you mean by it? I don't know what you mean.
So, hold on, let me go back to the picture of the house. No, you're fine. Yeah, you know how the roofs have shingles on them?
Yeah.
So the entire house is shingled. But theirs are wooden, so she would have gotten splinters, or I would think that she would have.
It was probably like my house. It was probably a cedar siding. That's what I'm thinking.
Depending on how old it is, I mean, if she slid down, a piece would have came off or something.
Yeah, especially the fact that it was snowing and wet. They kind of looked wet.
Cars and around the house to the right.
Yes, that's correct.
My house has cedar shingles. You wouldn't take any off if she slid down. Possible.
Does that mean that you would have been coming around the house over here by the garage on the left and
See it? See the house?
The deck?
Yeah.
Like if she slid down the window, see these wooden shingles? I feel like you wouldn't, if you literally slid down to the point where you're saying that you got blood here and here, I feel like wouldn't you have taken at least one? Or
It depends on how long those shingles have been up and old.
right. Or at least a splinter or few if you were literally dragging your hands down the side of a house that's wood. I would feel, because I don't know about how strong they are. However, I do know that they can splinter. Right? Because I've seen them. I never tried to like slide down one. So I don't know how strong they are. I've never had a house that was.
You haven't tried that before, Ivory?
No. My days of Spider-Man and Spider-Woman are over. But I do see them up close. And so like I have a neighbor who has them and they look like they would definitely splinter, but I don't know.
Yes, that's correct.
And when you came around there, what did you see?
I made my way. I observed two parties, one lying in the ground and one standing over it.
And I
Gravity
started
wouldn't
making my
allow her
way
to slide. I feel like
towards
you're
the other
top
end of the house,
heavy.
which is
Your head is heavy.
as towards this fence.
You'd
as you guys can
automatically
see in
move
reference to that
backwards.
photo.
And so when you say the other end of the house, are you talking about?
Just sliding. I'm going to interrupt, guys. I know you. I'm going to drive you all crazy, but the sliding theory makes absolutely no sense to me, and I'm going to fixate on it now, because if you're top heavy and you're trying to slide down, you're top heavy, so your head would go away from the house. You know what I mean? Like gravity automatically takes over, and gravity would take the heaviest part of you and pull it back. Like you're not going to slide down a building without, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like you're not a lizard, you know? And then if that did happen and you slid down and your head came back, then you wouldn't have landed with your head closer to the building, face up.
Wouldn't she have injuries to her fingertips or something that she was trying to hang on?
Right.
Sliding down?
You would see fingerprints at least. They're dusty. And then not even that. If she did fall and let go, she would have fell head first to the building. If she was up, she would have been face down. And because of her paralysis, there's no way she would have been able to turn herself over. So she had to have landed face up, which means that, to me, in my opinion, she went feet first. Because again, you're top heavy and it pulls the heavier part down.
It would have been like a jump because the way she landed, if you didn't to crack that, it's got to be forced now. Sliding and dropping is different than jumping from a second. Do you know what I mean? Because sliding and dropping, it's like when you're trying to get out of somewhere and you want to carry on running, you slide and then you jump the last bit, don't you? You know when you're trying to. You would think she would be less injured because. That's what.
And let me just say, yeah, she didn't just fracture one one spinal, area. It was her like a bunch of them burst. A bunch of them were fractured and broken. Her sternum, like that wasn't a cushioned fall. You know what I mean? For all of that to happen, the impact had to be pretty heavy. I personally think, in my opinion, in order for her to land the way she did, had the injuries that she sustained, she would have had to gone out feet first. Now, she might have sat on the windowsill, picked up her hands, and pushed her feet out forward, which would explain how she landed and still have the impact it had, because she's pretty tall and that window's only open halfway. So I feel like that she get out there, sit there, and then jump. That makes more sense to me than she slid down like Spider-Man. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, if she slid 6 feet, it would be a 6 feet drop.
Right.
Like she slid, so it wouldn't be 12 feet from top to bottom. So unless they're trying to say she didn't actually fall 12 feet,
right?
It was like broken half. She did half right. That might be what they're trying to say, because a lot of people have said 12 feet. So it won't be 12 feet, would it?
It would. If she's 5 foot, it would be about 7 or 8 feet. And still, if she fell that, she wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't have done that damage. And if she did do that, she would have more damaged her legs and her hip, not her neck and her spine.
Yeah, even
because
12 feet, I think the force. I think she really pushed herself out there.
Because the cushion blow, she would have landed on her feet, which would have broken her legs, if anything. Not her neck and her spine. So that's my thought. Sorry.
And the person that was standing, did you later learn that was Patrick Clancy?
Yes, I did.
And the person on the ground, did you later learn that was Lindsay Clancy?
Yes, I did.
And at some point in time, was Officer Hall also back there with you?
Yes, he came from this side over here, the opposite direction in which I came.
So facing the house, he would have come around the left side of the house if you're facing the house?
Yes, he parked on the street and came from this side, the opposite of where I came from.
Okay. And do you recall what Patrick Clancy was doing when you first saw him?
He was standing over Lindsay at that point. It appeared that he was trying to communicate with her. I observed him with a cell phone. It was kind of down by his side, so I don't know if they were talking or what, but it was probably split second, and then he turned in my location, saw me because I was illuminating the yard with my flashlight, and then that's when me and him crossed paths.
Okay. And so you said you saw him with his cell phone by his side. Was it in his hand?
Not you were illuminating the
With
yard
Box,
with your
you'll get free
flashlight.
Wi-Fi equipment, plus advanced security to protect your home network.
Then approximately where did you cross paths with him?
It was probably right by the bulkhead, I would say.
And so in the photograph to the right of the deck is the bulkhead, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
And where was he headed?
He was heading, I believe, up towards the deck.
See, move
obviously
this
I didn't know it
because
at that time, but he was just
landed
walking past me
here.
pretty fast in an abrupt manner. So,
And did he say anything to you as he passed?
and if
No,
she
they did not.
slid, if this was the window and she
after you
slid, wouldn't she have hit
crossed paths
that?
with Patrick, where did you go?
I went to the
And went
female
down?
party.
And did you speak to her?
I attempted to.
And what did you say?
I just was trying to get basic information, where she was hurt, where she needed attention, anything I could do to kind of help her until fire arrived.
And did she respond to your questions?
She mumbled, and it wasn't a definitive answer.
Did you observe
She
any
had
injuries?
to have fallen back.
Yes,
Maybe
she
do
was
that
laying
kind of
on the
damage to
ground.
herself, right?
There was cuts to her right wrist, I believe, and to the right side of her neck.
And were those cuts actively bleeding at that time?
They were bleeding, but not profusely.
Did you, are you trained in first aid?
Yes.
So they were
Did you feel the
bleeding,
need
is
to
what
put
he's
pressure
saying
on those
now,
wounds
just not
immediately?
that bad.
No. We also carry medical equipment such as tourniquet, gauze, stuff like that. And I believe due to the circumstances that I didn't need to utilize those tools.
And the tourniquet that you carry, is that in case someone has some type of cut where an artery has been damaged or cut?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you're trained to recognize when it's something serious like an artery spraying blood everywhere versus a cut that doesn't need a tourniquet?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And you didn't see the need for a tourniquet?
I did not know.
You can have serious bleeding without it
based
being
on
an
your
arterial bleed.
training,
I just want
in
people to
first aid and as a
understand that
police
too.
officer, as a first responder, did those wounds appear life-threatening?
No, they did not.
Did other emergency personnel from the fire department begin to arrive?
Yes, so I would say I tried to talk to Miss Clancy for probably 30 seconds to a minute. And at that point, coming from that opposite side of the house, I observed Duxbury fire personnel show up. And our protocol is to kind of turn the medical over to them because they're more highly trained than we are.
Okay. And at some point in time, do you hear something?
Yes.
What do you hear?
Myself and Officer Hall were standing by that window, and we just started hearing loud screams.
And what did you do when you heard those loud screams?
We immediately were trying to figure out where they were coming from. I'm not sure if dispatch or something came over the air and said something about the basement, but we both just started making our way back towards the deck part of the house.
Did you go in through the sliding glass doors?
Yes, we went up the deck and through the sliding glass doors into the kitchen.
And did you then head to the basement?
Yes.
Okay. And could you hear any sounds coming from the basement as you entered the kitchen?
Yes, it was the exact screaming that I heard from the window.
And did you go down the stairs to the basement?
Yes, we did.
And did you see anything as you went down the stair after you went down the stairs?
So we went down the stairs, and there was a picture at the bottom of the stairs, I believe, of Lindsay and Patrick. And the basement splits off into two, a right and a left area. And the screams were coming from the right area. So that's where we directed our attention to first.
Okay. And did you see Patrick?
Yes. That right side opens up, and it's like two rooms, I believe. So we went into the first room, which was kind of dark, and there was some cluttered stuff around, and Patrick was in that back room at the time.
So showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 92. Is that the doorway into that back room?
Yes, it is.
And then Exhibit 93, is that the inside of that back room?
Yes, it is.
And
Correct, Shirley. I believe so, yeah.
do you recall what, if anything, Patrick was saying as you encountered him?
Upon his observation of us, myself and Officer Hall, he proceeded to head in our direction, leaving that room. And at that point, he looked up and he screamed, "She killed the fucking kids."
And
I didn't hear
after
anybody
he
add
said
the
that,
F
where
word
did
in
you
there.
go?
Once he cleared himself from the door frame, we were able to look inside the room where we observed what appeared to be a child laying motionless on the floor.
And did you later learn his name was Dawson Clancy?
Yes, I did.
And how was he positioned?
He was laying on his back, kind of close to the gym bag for reference of that.
But was he face up or face down? The two of them were found face down.
Bag to the left of the child's toy.
Yes.
And so you're saying that he was in that area when you first saw him?
Yes, he was.
And do you recall whether he was on his back or his stomach or something else?
Two
He
of
was on
them,
his back.
they reported to be
And do you
face
recall
down.
his physical appearance?
Aura and
Like I said,
Not
he was
sure which
laying on his
other one.
back. His head was tilted to the right-hand side.
Dad took the things, so it's
Um,
over.
Looked at him kind of in the face area once we got
no,
closer.
because wasn't he the one who said that they were face
his
down?
face
He was the one who
white,
testified
gray,
that two of them were face down.
lips were blue, eyes were bloodshot.
Yeah, it's bad.
Looked like blood vessels were popped in his eyes.
Yeah.
Did you notice any injuries to his neck?
Seeing that,
I just mean
my first
originally they were
instinct was
two of them
to
were found face
kinda
down.
grab his
At
head and
least he
tilt
did
to
it
the
from
side, see
behind.
if I can get a pulse. But I mean, based on my training experience from previous incidents, I knew it wasn't going to be good. So I moved the head. That's where I observed some red marks on that right-hand side.
Of the neck?
Yes.
And in that exhibit, 94, there was a yellow exercise band, correct?
Yes.
And I believe in prior testimony, you may have called it a blue exercise band. Is that correct?
Yes.
But it's clearly yellow in the photo, right?
Yes, it's clearly yellow. I mean, there was.
Testing the color of the exercise band.
Right, good.
So what was your focus at the time?
The child.
And once you saw him there with these injuries, what did you do?
Based on my observations, I knew there wasn't really much I could do. So I picked the child up, went chest to chest. And as I did that, it was kind of like a mucus or a foam that leaked out of his mouth onto me. I grabbed him, went back towards the way we came down into the basement, and I headed up to the stairs where Sergeant Homestead was coming down the stairs.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Why did he immediately? Because she hasn't said anything. All she said is the kids are in the basement, right? So he's gone to the basement. Why has he automatically gone? She's killed the kids.
Because she found them with.
You just think that they're not alive because somebody, like at that split second.
Well, because she told him that they were in the basement, right?
She didn't say what she'd done. Though,
Right. So that's why he wasn't quick to get to the basement. That's why he didn't make it a great, I have to get there. But when he finally got there, if she knew that they were in the basement and they had bands around their neck, he would have been. I think.
Automatically say.
Yeah, but.
That someone had done it. That's what I'm trying to say. He automatically went, she's done it. Whereas, I don't know. But it's just a thought that came in.
I agree.
He said what he said.
But we don't know the conversations if she was saying, did you jump? You know what I mean? Like, he knew she jumped, then that wasn't somebody else doing it, right? And she slid her wrist, so.
First thing will be to blame my partner.
I think it would be for the simple fact that it appeared to be a suicide with the neck and the wrists and the jumping out of the window. So it already appeared to be a suicide. I wouldn't assume somebody else. No, it's
automatically go, she's done it, when actually he didn't say she'd done it.
right. No, it was a good thought. But my thought is, we didn't question Patrick enough. I want to know, because I do believe he said two, and I don't remember which two kids he said that he found face down. And
It was the two older ones.
the two older ones, which both arguments can be made here. But to me, that shows that, well, I mean, number one, it's easier to overcome them if if you're doing it and they're face down, right? Their arms are kind of blocked. So that's a point towards the prosecution. However, in the defense as well, you could also make it look like she knew she had to do it, but didn't want to look in their face as they were doing it, right? So that's why I feel like the position up or down really makes a difference there. And again, both sides can make an argument towards it, but I feel like nobody questioned that, and that should have come into play either way. So I just wanted to put that thought out there. Sorry.
And I started yelling to him to get out of the way. Went back up the stairs and then into the kitchen, directly adjacent to the stairs is the front foyer, like hallway. And I went out that.
So I'm just going to answer this because Sarah said, do we know how the ex feels? The ex forgave her, and he stated that he did not believe that she was in her right mind. And I think that he supports the fact that she was in some kind of psychotic state because of the mental health treatment she was getting. So he's not blaming her or thinking it was outside of a mental health crisis.
Main door into the driveway.
And was there an ambulance in the driveway at that time?
Yes, the ambulance was backing up and had pretty much just parked, and one of the fire was walking around to the stretcher out back. So I rushed over with Dawson and I put him on the stretcher, and that's when Sergeant Homestead and fire personnel started working further on him.
What did you do next?
I went back into the house.
And why did you go back into the house?
I remember hearing something about kids and multiple, and I just went back.
And when you went back in the house, did you go to the basement?
Yes, I went back in that front door, back down to the basement, and this time I went to the left-hand side.
And when you went to the left-hand side of the basement, what did you see?
Pretty much directly in my sight was an older female laying on the ground, and then in the corner there was like a younger baby.
And when you say an older female, you're referring to that she was older than Dawson?
That's correct.
And did you later learn her name was Cora Clancy?
I did.
And did you assist in treating her?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
So when I got down to the basement, 2 fire personnel were already on
Thank you,
scene.
Jamie K.
One was working on the baby and one was working on Cora. Communicated with them. We worked together, and I took over doing chest compressions of Cora.
And were you able to see any injuries on Cora at that time?
Yes. She had kind of the same injuries that I explained with Dawson. The pale tint, bluish lips, bloodshot eyes, blood vessels popped. But this time she also had like dried blood around her mouth.
And did you also see an area of blood near her on the floor?
Yes, there was a relatively large area of blood on the floor.
Thank you, Jamie, for the follow. I appreciate
actually,
it.
when doing CPR on her,
This is Court TV breaking up, guys. Not
So I
me.
ended up moving her a little off to the side so I could position myself better.
Guys, if you're just getting in here, don't forget to give a follow and don't forget to follow the panel. I appreciate it.
This red, brown stain on the rug, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
He's another loud breather. He's whistling in the nostrils.
While you were doing chest compressions on Cora, what was the firefighter doing?
The one that had previously been attending to Cora then went to the child that was in the corner.
And eventually, was Cora put on a stretcher and brought out?
Yes, eventually. I think the baby was brought out first because I think they mentioned at some point they might have found like a faint pulse or something like that. So they got him out first, and then we were able to get Cora up.
So that entire time while you're in the basement, are you still giving chest compressions to Cora?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it felt like forever, to the point where I think I radioed for assistance for another officer to come down.
And did others come down to assist?
Thank you,
Yes,
Cicely.
Officer Cahill came down to further assist, where I continued with chest compressions, and he used a bag valve mask to give rescue breaths.
And a bag valve mask, is that something that goes over someone's face, a mask that's attached to a bag and you squeeze it to give air?
Yes, it's an alternative breathing apparatus.
At some point, do you go back upstairs to the first floor?
Yes.
And do you encounter Patrick Clancy when you go upstairs?
Yes, so when they removed Cora, myself and Officer Cahill went back upstairs where...
With base 44, a simple sentence becomes...
All right, somebody's going to
your
remind me
website.
to get the premium today, by the
Misdemeanor in
way.
the kitchen.
He was still frantic, kind of in
This
shock,
was earlier.
still
They
screaming and losing
finished
himself.
for the
And,
day.
I think at that point,
So we're just going back and
one of us
going
requested
over
that we get
what
an
they
ambulance for him
testified
as
to
well.
this morning.
Thank you, sir. Nothing further.
Attorney Reddington?
I'm sorry, I have no questions.
All right. Thank you, sir. Lisa. Thank you.
Guys, if you're in here, don't forget to ask questions because I love questions. I love statements. I love reading what you guys have to say.
Your Honor, at this point,
This is a conversation that we all have.
Objection that I filed on the repetitious nature.
All right, if I can see it, Sarah.
This is, I get these two men testifying. However, I feel like the rest of them were just fluff.
Yeah.
And why are they allowed to have 20 people testify because they were there? You know what I mean? We're hearing the same repetition, the same thing. There really was nothing new added. Thank you, Patty Jo, for the follow. I appreciate it.
Is
But
it because they want the jury to hear what they tried to save the kids and how many people
I'm
went from
sure.
them, and they want it to sink in, whereas the defense twice has said no questions because they don't want them to say it all over again.
Right.
Because he said no, Anthony twice, so actually, but I feel like they're going through it step by step. So the impact of this is what the kids needed and this is what they saw and all that lot as well. That's what I feel anyway.
Yeah, I think they were just going through what each one saw. If you ever think of, like, say, somebody's chasing after a suspect, they'll say, okay, what did they wear? And you have 5 people all saw it. All 5 of them could have a different experience of what they saw.
I agree, but I'm sure you spoke to all of them already. Like, you already know that they're all going to say the same thing, then it becomes repetitive. My thing is, why wouldn't they allow the person who's experienced a psychosis testify? That bothered me that they didn't, because if you experienced it, you could sit there and be a medical expert all you want, but if you didn't experience is a whole different level of expert, right? So I feel like you didn't let the expert of all experts testify on their behalf. Like, that's wild to me.
Back in a couple of minutes with the next
That
witness.
really bothered me.
Court, all rise. Jurors, closing notebooks, please.
All right, so
Because all people, they're different. They could experience it differently. So maybe that's why they didn't call that person.
any experience to testify is better than no experience, right? We can all look into something, but unless you've lived through it, it's kind of a different, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So that's where we ended up coming in this morning. So that's over. Off topic, someone just asked, have we heard anything on any updates on the Siders case? Yes. Now Elizabeth is going through they're all going through incompetency testing evaluations at this point. So they're all getting evaluations done to measure their competency. So that's an update, but I haven't heard anything else as far as that is concerned. The Siders, has anybody been keeping up with the David case?
Yes.
That is a whole mess. The text messages, the parents allowing her to go with him to where'd they go? London?
Yeah.
I feel like those parents are partially responsible for what happened. You knew where she was. You allowed her so much freedom. The parents.
Those text messages were just.
Yeah. And to Texas, right. And then his mother knew, right? She met David's mother. So I feel like all of the adults in that case were partially responsible. You knew what the kids were doing. You knew that he was with a child. You knew that she had got pregnant by him and abortions were needed. You knew it went too far. And I feel like you all allowed it to happen. And, for people going to tell me that you can't keep a 14-year-old from getting in an Uber at 9:30 at night, going to his house, I'm sorry, I don't agree. My child would not have went. So, I feel like there's partial responsibility on all the adults failed her in that case. So that's going to be super interesting. What else happened with that case? There's a lot that's come out about that case.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm. So that one's been wow. Nancy Guthrie, we know Savannah went out there and made another plea. They want the body, right? We know she's dead at this point. I don't know. That case to me is still a shit show, pardon the language, but I feel like, I don't know. That one will never make any sense.
He's got the guy who,
Excuse me.
dumb student. Sorry, I don't know what the name is. The Idaho one with that house with students in.
Uh-huh.
He's wants to change his plea now, apparently.
Right, yeah, Koberger.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, yeah, I saw a thing when I was waiting in between. I saw a thing about it the other day.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't that he couldn't do that. I thought that was part of the deal, but they're saying that he had a right, I guess, to do it one time. He had to do it before September. I guess he's doing it, I guess.
I never really talked about that case. But I think I'm going to jump on and start from the beginning with that case because I'm not one that likes to wait. Like, I can't wait for trials and stuff.
Well, if this does get approved, I hope that he says why, because they didn't get all that out of him before.
Right.
Why did it, what was his reasoning, his state of mind at the time? They never questioned him about any of that because he took the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I just thought about that. That's why I didn't have a trial, wasn't it? I get it now. They didn't have a trial because he said he said guilty. And I was saying no. So obviously, I didn't understand that bit. But that's why I've not seen it a lot because they didn't need a trial, did they?
No.
Yeah. Shay just said, what was the case with the 14-year-old in the Uber? So the David case with Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old that was found in the frunk of the singer's Tesla. So their preliminary hearing is happening. And Faithless just said, apparently Nano said there's new DNA. How is there new DNA?
The preliminary is over, so they already found that, yes, they're going to take it to trial.
Correct, right. So yeah, we're waiting on that trial. But as far as the new DNA from Nanos, there's new DNA or new evidence from the DNA already collected?
I didn't see anything about that.
Wow, I got to go through that too.
Oh, no, okay. The Koberger case, you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
Holly just said the timing on him wanting to change and the new Netflix doc is wild. Yeah, that does seem extremely, So yeah, there's a lot going on, man. It's like feast or famine out here. It's either no cases happening, they're all happening at the same time.
Yeah, because in the Koberger case, he's claiming that the boy in the case or whatever that was unalived had clumps of hair in his hand, and the DNA didn't come back to him or something. So that's supposed to be the new evidence.
Oh. And he acted alone?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying? But the hair found in the kid's head, yeah. See, I need to go through that. I haven't really kept up on that. I've heard little bits and
That's part
pieces.
of the case right there. That's a lot in that one too. So
Yeah. They only have one spot of touch DNA with him.
yeah, on the sheath of where the jabber was.
Oh. Yeah, see, I got to go down that rabbit hole. They bulldozed that house down way too quickly. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he did it. I think he knew about it at most, but didn't do it. said Brooke.
Well, how did Chief get in there with his DNA on it then?
Oh, see, I love that. That sounds like arguments waiting to happen. I love debate.
Yeah.
So Merely Jen just said there's no DNA on the sheath.
Yes, there was on the snap of the sheath. That's their main part that they had against him.
Oh, and then Books over here on YouTube just said it wasn't a clump of hair. It was one hair that stuck to his blood from behind the bed.
Well, that could have been anybody's hair. That could have been, he could have had a lady friend over or something.
Right. Yeah. I
We don't
mean,
know. Yeah, that one's a tough one.
yeah. See, ooh, that's interesting. You don't know. So I'm a little familiar with the case, Heidi. I just, the absolute facts, I have to go down that rabbit hole because I don't know enough about the facts to speak on it too intelligently. I need to make sure of what I'm talking about when I talk about it. Books just said there was an interview with the parents, and that is why they were told from, and that's what they were told from the police, that yes, it wasn't a clump, it was one hair.
Okay, yeah, no, I saw an article where they said clump. They could have been exaggerating a bit.
Like his hand had blood on it and fell behind the bed. That's super interesting. I did a big deep dive, but had to quit because I got angry. I said, Brooke, that's so funny. Oh, is this one going to cause a war? A debate war? All right, guys, we're going down that rabbit hole. As we wait for the Siders case to hit a trial, we'll go down the Kohlberger rabbit hole.
There's lots of plans as well. There's lots of plans and timelines and that out there.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of timelines, I don't mean to interrupt, guys, but yesterday when we were in She Sheds Live, did you see what I sent you, Jamie? We were talking about why they were making such a big deal about Patrick Clancy leaving the house, and why the email mattered and where it came from, whether it was his Surface Pro at home or if it was the phone, was because they're trying to set up a timeline. They're trying to say that she had more time than, you know what I mean, an extra 10 minutes, which I don't think is the case. So
Yeah, I don't see how that would matter.
are you still covering Lindsay Clancy? Yeah, we've been streaming the trial and we're still going over that. Absolutely. You just missed it. If you just got in here, Chloe. Yeah, Shay. So we can go over that. Maybe, I don't know who's going live later. Maybe She Shed will or somebody, so we can go and then I'll send that to her. I think I sent it to her as well. So that's interesting to listen to on how they're trying to push that extra 10 minutes out. But does anyone think Patrick was having an affair? No, Books. I don't think that he was having an affair. I don't see any evidence or proof. And if the prosecution thought that he was having an affair or had any inkling that an affair was possible, they would have pulled that out in the very beginning, because it would have given her a reason to have not been in psychosis and a reason to kill those kids and herself. So I don't believe that.
I don't think he was at all.
Do you think he messed with her meds? No, I don't. I don't think he had anything to do with it. I think the fact that she was in a psychosis is pretty much, there's a lot of evidence to back that she could have been in a psychosis. I don't think anybody messed with her meds. I don't think anything malice from anybody else. Cheating was going on. I think it was a stressful situation, like Jamie said. Knowing that she had these issues going on, for a time, I think that, postpartum mental health issues are real. And I think that when they're not properly being treated, then they can get out of hand.
And that'll be stressful on a couple as well. And if you're doing it over a long period of time, it just gets worse as time, goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Books just said, Ivory, did you read the information on how many pills she took from each bottle? So that's another thing that was covered yesterday. And the defense did a good job squashing that theory, because they were trying to say she didn't take very many. And that's what the prosecution was saying. At the same time, the prosecution was arguing that you don't know if she even took them, then you don't know she didn't. And then the defense lawyer said that he went to the house after the police confiscated all the medications, and those were the bottles that they were reading. However, found a drawer full of pill bottles that were either half gone or empty. So I think the defense did a good job of squashing that theory that she wasn't even taking meds. But it, you know,
I'm confused because they found medication in 3 different areas: in his trunk, in the kitchen, and then upstairs in the nightstand. So it's
yeah. Okay, I missed yesterday. I was prepping my classroom for a new school year. Oh, you're going back to school books. Yeah. There's a replay on YouTube from yesterday. And I'm sure that we'll talk about it more if, you know, Shisha goes live later on, or if Shisha doesn't, maybe I will. And we can go over everything that we heard the last few days. Carly said, I'll be honest, I have medications in different parts of my house too. Yeah, I have them hidden because I have kids. And so they're in the little lock boxes here and lock drawers there. Awesome books. Thank you. You know what I mean? So like my medication is locked in a drawer on my desk, and the kids is locked up in a certain area. I don't know about pills just being left around. When you have kids, that's a little wild, but you know, I want to thank you for creating a safe space when people have difference of opinion on cases. Absolutely, Shay, you're so welcome. I love a difference of opinion, guys. We all are entitled to our opinions. It doesn't make us right or wrong. If we knew something was fact, it would be really easy. But the difference in opinions and the different perspectives makes for great conversation. So I appreciate everybody being so respectful with their difference of opinions, right? Yeah, I brought to the pharmacy to discard. I've never heard a medical professional say, well, just give the medications that you're not going to use to your husband. He'll discard them, and I'll just give you new ones. I've never heard anyone. I've never said that. I don't know that you don't know the husband, so I don't think that's very responsible to say.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe
mean?
they just thought they'd do that just for safety instead of leaving it up to her.
Maybe that's possible. I just, that was a little wild to me. I didn't,
Yeah, but I never heard of that before either. But I'm just thinking maybe that's why.
It's definitely possible. I just, I don't know. Part of me thinks that maybe he had them in his car. Was he trying to take them away from her because he was worried she was going to do something? That's what I would argue.
Could be.
You know? So Sam just said, I think some clarification will come soon. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I'm not sure what you misunderstood, Curly. We have a collection bin at the pharmacy for people to, yeah. I do know that they tell you not to flush them down toilets. I do know your water company will usually put out a warning. Please don't discard of medications in toilets and sinks and drains and stuff like that. And I do know there was a big thing for a while where we as medical professionals were told to ask them to discard of it properly because there was an issue. Oh, I never said share medicine, but you guys were talking about him having her meds. No. Yeah, we didn't say that. You said that. A lot of people are saying that. Like that was a big thing.
Yeah, we have them at our police station too. You can drop them off there as well, like where I live.
Yeah. So yes, court is done for today. They ended it at about an hour ago. They will reconvene tomorrow at 9 a.m. Tomorrow they are going to the house and they're going on a little field trip. So that's going to be super interesting. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end it. I'm going to go see what the kiddos are doing. But either one of us will be back on tonight, guys. So just keep an eye out. Give everyone a follow and you'll figure out where we land tonight. So guys, thank you so much for everybody in the comment section. Thank you for everybody up on the panel. And I'll talk to you guys later.